Alright,
All right,
relax.
bet. We good? We ready?
Yeah.
All right. So three, two, one. Welcome to another episode of It's Debatable WWE Edition. I'm your host, Justin Jones. I'm handsome. I'm looking good. We got Sebastian with us. We got Fabian, and we have special guests. Y'all probably know him everywhere as Allenownz. We know him as Allen, the Messiah. The man, Allen's here, man. Clap it up, man.
We finally got Allen on board, man.
Yo, I listen. The funny thing is, how many times I've been telling you I'll come on whenever you guys wanted me to. Did I not?
Facts.
Nah,
Big
yeah,
facts.
it's definitely true. You definitely did. I appreciate it, bro.
We here though.
Nah,
We here.
yeah. I just want to say a special thank you to you for coming on. I see all the work that you do. Fabian was just talking about it behind the scenes, like when did you start doing the streams and all that. But I see you be dedicated Monday Night Raw, NXT, Friday Night SmackDown. But then I even seen the other week. I forget the actual league, but where Mercedes Monet faced Indy Hartwell, and you was in the
Yeah,
building from that as well. So you're dedicated, and that makes me want to keep doing the podcasting and really just put in that work because I see the work you do. So it's just a real personal honor to have you here on the pod with us today.
for sure, for sure. I mean, House of Glory was a great time. That was the
House of
House of
Glory.
Glory show. Also, my bad. The camera keeps stuttering. I don't know what to do about it. But
Okay.
yeah, House of Glory was sick. We had Indy, we had Zilla, we had Dijak.
Right,
And that was awesome. They be putting
right,
on
right,
some
right.
fire stuff over there.
All right, so shout out to them. And so how we're gonna start, man, because I know that you're probably the biggest fan out of all four of us of just the whole wrestling as it is, just not WWE, just everything that just comes with the sport of wrestling. So I just want to know what got you just into wrestling, like what made you fall in love and really become just such a huge fan in this and dedicating, like, I'm pretty sure a huge part of your life to
Yeah.
just going to these events and doing these interviews backstage and all this. Just what got you into it?
So it's funny. I'm the youngest of like all my cousins. Like my mom, so my mom's the youngest of her cousins, and then like my mom was almost 20 years younger than all of her cousins. So
Right.
for me, I'm the youngest, and like my cousins were all like 10, 12 years older than me. So when I was a kid, they were all watching, WWF, WCW, and stuff like that. So they were already like into the culture. You know what I mean? Like they were huge. Like anytime I come over my cousins' houses, WCW was on, or WWF was on, or a VHS was on, or something was on that was wrestling related. I was also put through a million different moves. I was power bomb left and right. I
Right,
was
right, right,
because
right.
I was the youngest, right? So they could do the power bombs on me. They could do all the jackknife on me and stuff like that. So like, um, I got into it at such an early age because like everybody around me, family wise, was into it. Even my dad would turn it on. Like my dad wasn't the biggest like WWE fan, but like he would just have it on, right? Like it would just be in the
Right.
background. Like he was one of those guys where like we had we it was funny. We had two televisions when I was younger. One was to watch sports, and one would be like if my mom wanted to watch a TV show, right? And my dad would just like have it on. Either you have a sports game on. If there's no sports on, he would throw on WCW, throw on WWE, or whatever was
Mhm.
on at that time. It would just be on. So I was in that culture since literally like a child. Like I remember I made a video recently talking about what was everyone's first WWE merch, and I used to think because I went to school with the Austin 316 shirt when I was
Right.
younger. Because that was like the shit, right? Like you had the Austin
Yeah.
316 shirt, you were the
That
shit.
was tough gear with
But
the
my
skull on the
cousin,
back too. With the
yeah,
smoke.
yeah, the big skull with
Yeah,
the like, and then my cousins were like, "Yo, that wasn't the first piece of merch. We always had you in a WCW NWO shirt. Like they had
Right.
me in an original like NWO shirt, and they were like, you never really fit into it, so you can't wear it to school because they would give me theirs, right? Like they would literally
Hmm.
throw me on there like over for me it'd be oversized at the time, right? Like it'd be a ginormous shirt on me, and yeah, the guy they like I've been in that culture since like I was a child.
Damn. Damn. Nah, that's crazy. I mean, I feel like we were just talking about this either the last pod that we did or the one before that, and we were just all speaking about just us as kids and us like their brothers for Fabian said. I have two younger brothers, so I remember just doing these power bomb moves and the pedigree moves, and then I actually, just by accident, my brothers would get hurt, and then we used to beg them just not to tell, the
Don't tell
parents.
mom.
That,
Don't tell mom.
right.
He
So
start crying.
we,
Yo, ask him. He got Batista bomb on me.
Yeah,
No
I was
spot,
about to
no
say that
pad.
story. Yeah, Batista bomb on the wooden floor, like like I had to go through it. I'm the youngest brother, so
Had to defend that title.
yeah.
right. So we all went through that as kids, just wrestling with our friends and family, and then just watching it growing up. Um, a question I want to ask you real quick before we get into what just the real hard hitting topics. Growing up, right? You watched it as a kid and you probably thought, it was probably just the coolest thing ever, right? Now, as an adult, I just want to know, does it feel different just watching it now as an adult and probably being probably just in the arena more than probably just as a kid watching it on television?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's two completely different worlds, right? Cuz like
Right.
as a kid, you you think the moves are cool. You think the characters are cool. You think these larger than life people are like just way cooler, right? Like as adults, you start appreciating their work more. You start appreciating the stories that they tell, the characters they build, what they do outside of professional wrestling, right? Like for example, like I I like the modern wrestlers significantly more just because like I think they're much better people, right? Like I think they're much better overall like human beings.
Okay, so
Like
stop right there. So when you say modern, like, give me like some names you're talking about. Like, what do you like? So you mean like the Seth Rollins and the Roman
yes,
Reigns
yeah, like
type?
the sets, the Romans. I put Cena into the more modern aspect. Like I would say from like anyone that's been around once they went PG on,
Okay.
Vince kind of understood, hey, I can't have these reckless dudes anymore. I can't have the
Yeah.
guys that are willing to get into a bar fight. I can't have the guys that are willing to drink and drive. I can't have the guys that are gonna, you know, get some DV cases and stuff like that. Like he was a lot smarter in making sure that his next crop of people they're actually
Right.
good dudes, right? Like you
Very
don't really
marketable too.
exactly, but you have to be. Like nowadays you can't it's funny, the whole thing with the Usos. For the longest time, people didn't want to admit that them having their DUIs and DWIs were a major aspect of them not being solo stars because they
Right.
had the tools. If we're gonna
Right.
be honest, like you put Jay or Jimmy on the mic, they're getting the crowd over. They've been doing it for 14 plus years. Like they're guys that you put them on the mic, fans gravitate towards them. But the
Right.
DUIs definitely didn't help. Nowadays, it's like, listen, they've been way away from that for how long? They're trusted and stuff like that. Like you don't got guys, you're not hearing of DV cases nowadays. You know what I mean? Like the biggest star of all time had a DV case. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
nowadays, like these type of guys, like they're just genuinely much better human beings, and I think that's so much easier to like support them and gravitate towards them and like be actual like fans of these guys.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too. Because when I was watching the biography for Randy Orton, the guys came a long way too. When like feel me, like from when we first seen him growing up into evolution and all that, he was dealing with a lot of what we say just the drug addictions and just feel me, just the backstage problems and whatnot. And for the crazy part, I didn't even know about was that once he became the bald-headed menace, Randy Orton, like he had already conquered those stuff. Like he having a daughter really changed him, and he became one of those real locker room guys. So at the time, being younger, when I thought about it, I'm just like, yo, is he really like that as a character in person? Like, I'm thinking
Yeah.
Randy's such an asshole, like, feel me, just a crazy guy. He perfected his character so well and like put all his demons in the past to where now he got that push in '09 to where you're thinking it's like, oh, this is like one of the biggest heels right there. So yeah, like stuff like that you rarely hear about, like the drug addictions, the suspensions or whatnot. Like feel me, especially I feel like under a Triple H regime now, to where like if he's giving you a chance to like prove yourself or putting you out there for the fans to see now, it's like you really has to build that trust. You can't sweep nothing under the rug nowadays too. And that's what happened with the Odyssey Jones case. I think he was gonna get that push too as well. But one little thing, and then feel me, WWE nowadays is like they want no part in that too. So I definitely agree to you on that point.
Nah.
Also,
Yeah.
like to piggyback, like they're good people, but also on top of that, I think as you got older, you have an appreciation for like storylines and really seeing how the developmental part of it like works. You know what I mean? Because when I was younger, I'm thinking like how they're like how these two not like each other, or like, you know, like why are they going through the extreme lengths to like kill each other in the ring or whatnot. But like when you really see like how everything is put together, like now that you're older, I think like that takes like more of appreciation too. And like the fans, they could start like piecing together what they think could happen potentially in the future. You know what I mean? So you get like as you get older, you get a chance to actually like feel really a part of it. Like that's why I feel like the wrestling community online, even though they're nuts, it's like everybody does have a valid point in the vision that they have, because wrestling could go any other like sort of way. You know what I mean? Like you could think like I want to see John Cena and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, for example, but I think that he would have a better storyline with CM Punk. You know what I mean? Like people, you could put the stories like in so many different ways that I feel like that aspect of wrestling too. That like as I got older, I really cherished like that part of it.
Right, right. So you just speaking, you make me think of a question, right? I feel like now, just due to social media and everyone just having a voice, right? Like, just look at us here on the podcast, just all having a conversation. I feel like now, instead of watching it, maybe a lot of people try to book the show themselves, and this should have happened, and I want WrestleMania at the main event, this, and night one and night two, and just all the craziness. I just want to know, Alan, you as a fan, does that bother you? Because, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Jay Uso wins the Royal Rumble. I feel like before that happened, everyone wanted Jey Uso to hold every single title that WWE offered. The minute he knocked Cena off the ropes, we seen it went on, I believe, the YouTube page, and it was very controversial, right? So, do you feel the fans sometimes, and not to a fault, we're just so invested, we just always could think of so many scenarios, but do you think that ruins the product in any way?
So, oh man, um, I actually like talked about this recently. I think there's two type of WWE fans. I think there's fan number one where you can actually talk about the product. We can discuss it, right? We can be like, all right, I think Jey Uso shouldn't main event for X, Y, and Z reason, right? Then you have the fans that are just fan B that are just like, no matter how they book it, it sucks. I don't care how they book it. They're gonna book it however they want. It's fake anyway. Why are we bothering, right? I'm okay
Fact.
with people having an opinion and saying they don't want Jey Uso to main event, as long as you give like an actual val. Oh, I just don't think he's good. Like what about it that you don't think he's good? I just don't think he's good. It's like, all right, well, I don't want to. I like what, like that has no, like that has no substance. It has no value. Oh, he botched. He botched to jump over the rope. Cool. I
Right.
can name a million botches from every one of your favorite superstars that have main evented WrestleManias. You know what I mean? Like I can name botches on the mic. I can name botches in the match. Oh, well, he botched on the road to WrestleMania. Okay. Like who cares? He won the Royal Rumble. He's gonna be in WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. You can give your opinion on whether you think he should win. You can give your opinion on whether he should lose. It's way past it. They're like, oh, he should have won the Royal Rumble. Guys, we're past that point. Like, leave that shit in the past. Like, you can't rewrite stories that are on television. Like, I was
Right.
at the Royal Rumble. I will tell you this. There were 70,000 people there. Every single person there was fucking eating. They were yeeting. They were yeeting when he won. They were yeeting when he came out. They were yeeting for an hour after the match. The fans wanted Jey Uso to win.
Yeah.
The social media accounts online, especially the ones that like they use a profile picture of like a WWE superstar, and like they'll be like at Drew McIntyre Stan era win champ. Like that's like their at. And I'm like, bro, like,
Right.
and it's like a 25-year-old dude. I'm like, bro, like, be yourself, have your opinion, where when you get backlash, we know who this backlash goes to. Like, people hide behind personas online and stuff like that. Like, anytime I make a take or I make an opinion, you can come at me for it. You know what I mean? It's me. Like, you can see me on the street and be like, yo, you remember when you said that this shouldn't have happened? Ha ha ha, it happened. It's like, yeah, you're right. It happened. But it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't go on Twitter. Like I actually stopped going on Twitter like 2 years ago, mainly because I had to block all the dirt sheets because it spoils the pages. It's too
Facts.
toxic on there. Everything that Triple H does is wrong. Every superstar that's a main eventer is wrong. Every superstar that gets released was everyone's favorite superstar all of a sudden and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where it's like I'm one of those people where it's like enjoy the prize we're watching, and then let's discuss it. You can talk about
Right.
it negatively or positively as long as you're down to have a conversation about why you feel that way.
Right.
100%. That's exactly it. Like everything you said, I literally like. I don't understand the thing where we're talking about, oh, Triple H is the worst booker in history. Like just because your favorite star didn't get the proper push. Like for one example, like I don't understand right now why people have a problem with Damian Priest getting booked with Drew McIntyre. And for me, it's more so like Damian Priest just had one of his best years in his career in WrestleMania last year. And to people to even say that they should treat him like a mid Carter when he was putting on banger matches at a point is like I think we're
But
slowly trying to regress in people's like trying to downplay people's character because we don't get the matches I want to see. Oh, Drew McIntyre deserves better. Drew McIntyre is a top star in this. Not everybody could have that main event or spotlight right now.
hold
Everybody
on,
has to
Seb.
wait their
Hold on,
turn.
Seb. Hey, but hold on, Seb. See, you know what? Let's talk about that right there. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, damn near 99% gonna happen at WrestleMania, right?
Right.
I understand the people saying that based off the year Drew McIntyre had in 2024, arguably top three in WWE, right? Probably had the best feud, the best match, all that. I feel he could have got a bigger match for WrestleMania than Damian Priest because what does a Damian Priest?
But where do you put Damian last year? He cashed in and won the world title at WrestleMania, defended the title multiple times, had one of the best. You can argue that his match against Gunther was the best match on the card when he lost the title.
At
He
SummerSlam.
his storyline with Finn Balor was awesome. Like,
No, Alan. Hold on,
Awesome.
Alan. I think you're a good dude, man, but no. So Finn Balor and Damian Priest was underwhelming. Don't
the
do that,
payoff,
Alan.
was the payoff underwhelming? Yes, the way we got there, you didn't
Oh
love
yeah,
the
it was
way.
SummerSlam
nice.
turn
Yes,
up.
no, yes.
Yeah, I
At
agree with that. Yeah.
SummerSlam, no, hold on. At SummerSlam, when he came out and he was the reason that he fucked over Damian Priest. I feel right there was at his pinnacle, right? I
Okay,
feel after that the way it kind of simmered down and ended. I feel they could have did more with it
but where
to
would you
me.
put Damien's year last year amongst the guys?
Amongst the guys, I would have to say top 10 based off the booking, but when I'm watching the actual match and show, compared to what Drew McIntyre did with CM Punk, and no, I can't. I feel
But
he
you,
could have
but
got a
you,
bigger match.
but you have him in your top 10 for the year, right? What other top 10 guy from last year would you match him with to have him in WrestleMania?
LA Knight.
Mm, I wouldn't be mad at that.
So you want to regress the guy that we just had as
Yeah.
world champion down to the mid card like
He,
everybody else, as
But
Fab
the,
was
he's one
just
of
but
saying.
them. He's one of the people we're talking about.
but
He's one of the people we're talking about.
but then this is the point. Not everyone is going to be able to be on the WrestleMania
So why
card,
couldn't
bro.
Drew have the LA Knight feud?
Huh?
Why not have Drew have the LA Knight feud?
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather it be Drew than I rather Drew and LA Knight be on a WrestleMania this year than Drew and Damian Priest.
So
Look,
you value LA Knight with the US title higher than Damian Priest right now?
Yes. No. Okay. Well. Okay.
yeah.
Oh wait. Hold on. Hold on. Drew McIntyre is a top five male superstar right now with everything that he can do.
Okay.
Top 10, top 10, top 10.
I'd put him in top five. I think that's fair.
Drew McIntyre top five. Yeah,
LA Knight on promo and what he could do with the crowd is more than what Damian Priest could do. So we're talking about WrestleMania, the show of shows. Why not have the biggest match? You could
But
have
you
just
just
Damian.
complained about Damien's matches, and we're not gonna have a conversation about LA Knight's matches.
What's wrong with LA Knight?
I love
he
that.
does.
Listen,
He
I
does
love
watch
LA. I
that
love
top of the
LA
rope
Knight.
suplex.
I love LA Knight. I'll tell you this. I love LA Knight.
Be careful, Alan.
I love LA Knight. I will tell you, there has not been a match since his Logan Paul match where I've been like, I need to see LA Knight wrestle somebody. I'm
Now,
okay with anybody he wrestles, but I'm not like,
That's
I
fair
need to
enough. That's
see
fair
him.
enough.
I need to
Okay,
now,
see
okay.
him in a
All right.
match.
Yeah.
now is that LA's Knight fault or is that on Triple H booking Shinsuke Nakamura like a prostitute, bro?
It's just where we're at right now. It's stories, you know what I mean? In general, like, but it's the whole thing of, I think like we're going back to the normal conversation of we need to sometimes be like, all right, this is the direction they're going, and you just got to accept it and make the best out of it. For me now, it's I need a stipulation. That's the only thing that I want. If it's a one-on-one match, I have zero interest. I'm gonna be honest. If they just go straight one-on-one, I have zero interest. I need a stipulation in this match for me to really like. It could be a street fight. It could be a ladder match. It could be give me something, tables, because if they just go straight one on one after they just had Drew McIntyre curb stomp Damian Priest back to back weeks, like what are we doing? Like what are we doing?
True. That's true. Because at the end of the day, they said it themselves as on site. Drew McIntyre said, "I have nothing else like." But the way the story is, it makes sense when Drew McIntyre, and that's one thing I like about Drew McIntyre, what he does. When he explains a storyline, when he's making a storyline, it makes sense because he's the type to go back within history. That's a lot of thing now I notice in WWE. Like, it's not that, oh, we just rekindle a story, or let's forget everything that happened in the past. We talking about what happened last year, every moment that I got screwed over by you. So now I have nothing else going on at WrestleMania. You have my undivided attention. You screwed me over at the Royal Rumble. You screwed me over at Elimination Chamber. Here we are right now. We're both in a position now. We're not competing for a title, so it's on site. So it would have no choice but to be a stipulation too. So that's a point that you definitely put out that I definitely could agree on. Street fight most likely, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to want to watch them just in the ring. I feel like it would be best to maximize this match too. Yeah, street fight would have to be kendo sticks, all types of shit involved. Steel chairs, a freaking shillelagh.
Yeah, anything. Like I'm at that point too. And it's like, again, I think the one thing that 2 nights of WrestleMania kind of screws over a little bit is like there are certain feuds where you just got to put guys together. You just have to, right? Like, would I have rather had Drew McIntyre in the Fatal 4-Way with the 3 guys from the main event on Sunday? Sure. I mean, from Friday? Sure. Like, great. Like, I would have loved if Drew got thrown in there, and it would have been awesome because they all have history together. They all have stuff, blah, blah, blah. But they have so much time they have to fill with having it be 2 nights.
Facts.
You just got to sometimes throw 2 dudes together, hope it sticks, hope people get behind it. If they don't, you're going to watch the fucking match, so who cares?
But honestly, I think that with the 2 nights, I feel like there's so much like talent within the roster and like so many other storylines that you have to like, you know, try to still fill in those little areas. Even if the match isn't like a banger of a match, you just have to have like those fill-ins.
Exactly.
Like I feel like me personally, I could live without seeing Randy Orton and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Like I feel like we don't need that. But you know what I mean? Like,
but you need Randy Orton in WrestleMania. That's the thing.
Yeah,
like
it's
one of the
thing.
Again, like it's sometimes you just have to mesh guys together. Like you're not getting a WrestleMania without Randy Orton when he's healthy. Like it's the same thing with everyone talking about CM Punk right now. Everybody says, "Oh, CM Punk has to main event this year because we don't know if he's gonna make it to next year. We don't know if his body's gonna last next year." I'm one of those guys where I really think CM Punk needs if he's gonna get a main event at Mania, it should be a bigger deal. But you know, can you say there's anything bigger than main eventing with Roman and Seth other than the title? Like, you have 2 like the biggest stars in this generation. Like, is there anything bigger other than a title?
That match sells itself alone. Like, if you would have, and the fact that it's not even with a title, too, it sells itself alone. As like a lot of things that people that I don't understand is that people saying that how you have to have a main event match with a title on the line or a stipulation. When the first year when we got Rock versus Cena, there was no title on the line. I think it was just for pride. It was just literally for pride. It was one of the biggest matches that we had. So I think now, like when we add like names, it's just like maybe Roman doesn't need a main event this year. Maybe Rollins doesn't need a title. And I think that's what, a guy like CM Punk has done a great job of. I was just speaking about that like last week to Justin. Right. CM Punk is a guy that since he's been back, he hasn't had like a road at a title shot. He hasn't had like a whole title shot yet. But yet you're so invested to the feuds that he's having, the promos that he's cutting, and just just how the guys like Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, like everybody's elevating on that. So it's something that's must-see TV. And to me, if you had to ask me right now, everybody should agree that should main event night 1. It really should, because I don't think people are invested into Jay and Gunther right now being the main event. Because when you main event, I said it is like you have to be able to work the time. You're getting the most time to end the show. So you're probably working a 30-minute match, I believe. Maybe
Solid.
so, yeah. 30
Yeah.
minutes, maybe 45 minutes or so. So I look at it as those are three people that could work the time, that could keep you invested throughout the whole match. When I'm watching a Jey Uso match, it's like you know what you're gonna get, and he still got to prove to me ever since last year. I don't get me wrong, I fuck with Jey Uso, OD. Like I'm happy that he's getting this push he deserves, but to see him work a long match like that, I just haven't been invested. I haven't seen a good match to where it's like, oh, he really had one of his best matches. Like the last match I seen that kind of was the Raw on Netflix against him versus Drew McIntyre. And at points in time, I'm like, I'm disengaged with the match. Like, I'm kind of bored. It wasn't until the end of the match where he called a sneaky pin. I'm just like, oh shit. So, like, in the card, I really do want to see that as the main event, though.
Okay. Um. So you just spoke about Jay Uso and Gunther. Alan, the build up just to that match. We spoke last week, and I said that I feel like it's missing something. As much as we like them interfering in each other's matches, but I feel like God bless you.
Thank you.
I feel like we've kind of seen the choke out angle. I remember back in the day, when Randy Orton was beefing with John Cena, he took his father out the crowd and punted him, right? When
Yeah.
Randy Orton was feuding with Triple H, he handcuffed him to the ring and kissed Stephanie McMahon. It was certain things that he was doing that we felt he pushed the limit so much. We was wondering, like, is this real beef? I feel like me watching it, I don't really see the real beef. I feel like Gunther knows he's better than him, and I feel Jey Uso is getting this major push. And I feel if Jey Uso, I feel if Gunther loses at WrestleMania to Jey Uso, I think this could really hurt his career. Not nothing detrimental, but I think this does push him back, and I think Gunther is way more valuable to have as a true main top of the card type guy than a Jey Uso. Jey Uso's theme song is immaculating. When his music hits and everyone's yeeting, like it's just amazing, right? Every man needs a good yeet once a week, right? We all know that already. So, but I feel like Gunther needs to do something in this heel role that's really gonna make the match something. Just how do you feel about the build up?
So I think how you're talking about the whole like punting his dad. I think this Monday we're gonna see that happen. I think Jimmy's gonna be the mystery tag team partner. I think that what's gonna happen is Jay's gonna be like knocked out, and then he's gonna watch as Gunther completely chokes out Jimmy unconscious. I think that's the
Mm,
angle they're gonna go with. But I do agree. I think the buildup has been lackluster. But the biggest reason why is I really think that Triple H is trying to put the attention on the other match. Like all of the buildup has been very obviously pointing to John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Like you got 30 minutes of John Cena talking. And they show that promo about 7 times on Friday. Like the the biggest thing is, and it's very obvious the past couple years because they've done it the past couple years, they focus solely on promoting their main event. Their main event is their night 2 main event. It doesn't matter what main event's night 1. I keep telling people the reason why Jay and Gunther can main event night 1, no one truly goes to WrestleMania for the night 1 main event. They're going there for night 2. And if they're in Vegas, they're going to go to night 1 as well. So you can have whatever you want main event night 1. People are watching. Like, are you telling me that if Jay and Gunther main event night 1, you're gonna turn off the TV? No, you're gonna watch the fucking
No,
match.
you're still
Okay?
watching. It's still
It's
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. Exactly. That's the big thing. Night 2 is what matters the most. Night 2 is what they want the build up for. Night 2 is what the whole entire weekend is built there for. It's built right now for Cody Rhodes and John Cena. So I think they're gonna be lackluster with a lot of these buildups. Like Kevin Owens, Randy Orton get their match by coming out. Kevin Owens says, "I'm sorry," and Randy says, "Oh, I'm gonna see you at Mania," and they leave. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. We probably won't see them for another couple weeks. You know what I mean? Like,
facts.
it's one of
All
those
right.
things where all eyes are on one thing, and it's just got to be accepted as a community.
That's true. That's
I have a
true.
question for you. Do you think they're doing that solely like because, in my opinion, like the the regular WWE belt that Cody Rhodes holds, I feel like that holds like a little bit more value than the World Heavyweight
A little
Championship.
bit.
So no, like 10 times more.
Yeah.
But you feel like it's based like a part because of that?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's all because right now the what is the whole year? What is this whole year in WWE?
They're on John Cena's farewell tour.
Exactly. They're on
Yeah.
John Cena's farewell tour. Everything this year is going to be centered around John Cena. It's John Cena's last Royal Rumble, John Cena's last Elimination Chamber. John Cena's going for number 17. Everything's going to be focused on John Cena this year. It's very obvious. It's like in your face telling you that. And it's like they're not trying to hide anything about it either. They're just straight up like, look at John Cena. Everything John Cena's doing is what you need to be focused on. Everything else happening around it is just filler. Like it's legit filler content. It's like
That's crazy.
it's something you just have to accept. You know what I mean? Like John Cena was the final two. Every time they show Jey Uso winning, what do they show? They show this angle of over John Cena's shoulder of John Cena in
What made
shock.
John Cena make a business decision
Yes,
to go heel?
exactly. That's the whole thing of like, I've already accepted that, and everything else that's happening this year, I've accepted that is going to play second and third fiddle to John Cena. So I'm just enjoying everything I can and enjoying the ride. Like that's why I try to go to as many shows this year because I know they're going to try to surprise us. Like I knew that Raw at the Raw that I went to after Elimination Chamber, I knew something was happening between Rhea and Io Sky. So I knew I had to be there, right?
Yeah.
I
Right.
knew that LA Knights winning the title off Shinsuke Nakamura in Philly, I knew I had to go. It's one of these things where it's like you kind of like are being told the stories before they happen. And I
Yeah.
think that's the really cool thing about Triple H's storytelling. It's not the car crash style that Vince would do. Because Vince was just like, yo, let's throw darts at the board. If it works, it works. It doesn't, we can always pivot. We have TV time, right? So it's like Triple H is kind of telling us stories. Just follow the fucking story, bro.
And the
You
same
know?
thing with the tag division too. Right now, it's more so it's like we're still like you're still invested. Like despite everything being filler, you're still invested into these fillers. Like right now, like I was speaking about the tag division. Like it's fucking nuts on SmackDown. Like I enjoy watching the tag team division on SmackDown based on what we're getting. You're getting title changes. You're getting at least everybody's getting like a push. Whether it's Pretty Deadly, whether it's Los Gatos, whether it's the Street Profits now, Motor City Machine Guns, like feel me, like it's a whole bunch of tags being thrown out right there. So feel me, even if we do get like a ladder match on WrestleMania, even if we don't, the tag team division still holds a little bit more weight now, more than we would see like in previous years, whether they would wait. Like last year with the tag team, they waited until Mania to ununify the titles. They threw a bunch of whole other tag teams in a ladder match, and then that's what we got. This year is more so like you're invested too because everybody seems like they got a shot. Like even the Pretty Deadly, like they kind of getting a push too. And like I'm a little more interested to see how their story develop. I fake want to see the musical. I want them to win so I can see the Pretty Deadly musical, the Yes Boy. Like they even got something going on. Los Gatos. When Santo Escobar just wanted these guys to actually get some title, get some goal around them. It's kind of interesting to see. I'm not sure about the Motor City Machine Guns. They got their title win already. I know you was there for that too. It was what 2 episodes for one when we went there. So it was kind of like it's still a good thing to see that the tag team division
Damn,
for
I forgot
SmackDown.
that happened, bro. I
Yeah.
completely forgot that we saw them win that.
Yeah, I really like it. Was 2 matches too. They beat what
Yeah.
DIY, and then they went on
Yep.
the Bloodline. Yeah, it was actually that's the first time I've seen the title change happen live too. The pyro was like I never thought I heard a pyro. I didn't think the pyro was that loud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing being at a show is like I didn't think it was like my ears like, and I'm sitting like fake deep in the back, so I'm just like, damn, like you actually feel like you won some shit too. And these are the same guys that we seen. I grew up watching in TNA. They was killing in the tag team division, the X division. Like, and to see them do that in SmackDown too, it's just like tag team wrestling is sort of back too. I'm still waiting for Ray Phoenix to get with Penta, and then that was when we're gonna really pick up. But for SmackDown right now, that's the tag team. That's what we talk about with the fillers. I'm interested in when this tag team division. That's one of my favorite parts of SmackDown.
Okay. Alan, the tag team division, how do you feel about it right now? I mean, how do you feel about it on SmackDown? Because Raw's tag team division it doesn't really have one. So just how do you feel about SmackDown and just what's going on there?
I mean, it's enjoyable. Like I'm not like as invested in like anyone other than like the Street Profits myself, right? Like I love
Mm.
the Street Profits. I've always been a big Street Profits guy. I'm happy they brought back We Want Smoke, because I it's funny when they brought it back. All the creators like, oh, it's a new theme song. I was like, brother, I play this song in my car every day. Like I literally have my windows down and I literally say, when you see the smoke, you know there's fire in the building. Middle fingers up to the ceiling. You know, like I literally like I be singing that. And I was like, I'm happy they brought that back because I think one, that's a better song. I think Stevie Stone is a much better vocalist than like anything they've ever had. Like you have, if you got, by the way, if you guys didn't know, Stevie Stone did AJ Styles theme song.
That's why it sounded familiar.
But he also did one more. He did Solo Sokoa.
He did Solo Sokoa.
Yes,
Yeah, I was
yes.
thinking that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So he has those are his three. And like he's really good at vocals, and I think like people are like, oh, I hate that it does the We Want Smoke at the start. I'm like, bro, you have the Rock go, if you smell, but you can't have We Want Smoke. Like if you smell is okay, but we want smoke is not good, right? Like it's funny. There's always a double standard when it's not their favorite person, right?
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
not a lot of people won't say that the Street Profits are one of their favorite, wrestlers, right? For me personally, they're my favorite tag team in the WWE. But like, I think their theme song is sick, right?
Facts.
Other than the Street Profits, though, like I saw the Motor City Machine Guns in person. They are the Munchkins, Katana Chance and Caden Carter in male form. They are tiny.
Wow.
They are tiny. Like they are like, I'm a small guy myself. Like I'm only 5'9". These guys are smaller than me. Like I stood next to them. I was like, bro, like it's hard like to believe that somebody Pretty Deadly are huge dudes themselves. So they're actually like believable when it comes to like taking on like the Profits. Same thing with Los Garzas. Like they're believable. For me, DIY and MCMG just look like they're in a different weight class from like Dawkins and Ford and Prince and Wilson and Berto and Garza. Like they're big dudes. Like the rest of these guys are like big dudes. And it's the one thing that like I feel like modern day WWE, sometimes you obviously have to suspend your disbelief. Like I'm supposed to believe that guys are actually gonna beat up Drew McIntyre. You know what I mean?
That's what Faye was talking about. That's why he says Sami Zayn is not a believable guy.
Yes, no, I agree.
Yeah,
like I'm supposed to believe that Sami Zayn is supposed to destroy Drew McIntyre. You know what I mean? Like there's certain times where like there's characters that like intersect storylines. Like when they have like Tozawa. I know Tozawa in Japan. I've seen his matches in Japan. But like they had him against Gunther, and like I'm supposed to like actually believe that Tozawa stands like a true chance against World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. Not just a random match where it's like, Gunther doesn't have a title and you just have him thrown out there and he's blindsided. World Heavyweight Championship champion Gunther, I'm supposed to believe, has a 15-minute match with Tozawa. Like sometimes it's like
match. Yeah, he's supposed to bully him.
Yes.
Hold on.
He's supposed to do one of the things where he pins him and then he picks him up.
Hold on.
Smash him again.
What we're not gonna do, Tozawa, Otis, and Maxine.
Well, Otis is different. I've met Otis. I will tell you this. He is like, so you meet some people and they're strong. This dude shook my hand and I didn't even try. I thought he was about to break my hand. And then he pulled me in for a hug. When I tell you, I thought my shoulder got pulled out of my socket. That might be the strongest man I've ever. And that day I met Oba, I met Braun, I shook all their hands, I hugged all those guys. Otis has like this scary, like natural superhuman strength. So like after meeting him, anything he does in the ring is believable for me. Like I think he could kill anyone if he wanted to.
No, I was just gonna say the training that they do. I be seeing the TikToks and Instagram lives. It looks like they're running great training sessions. So I wouldn't have been surprised if Tozawa pulled up an upset, man. Maxine Dupree has taken over the group since Chad Gable and his weasel ass left to go join those other jocks. I'm still riding with
Thank
Maxine.
you.
Man,
Yeah,
they should have listened to Chad, bro. They
They should have
losers, man.
listened. Now look at them. It's
Yeah,
pathetic.
fucking
when was
losers.
They're
the last time?
failures.
When was the last time Chad Gable was in the ring with the world heavyweight champion
He
Tozawa? He's
just
been
went to
busy,
go master the art
Losers,
of
man.
luchador. You got to give
Yeah.
him some time. He just went to
bruh.
go master the art of luchador. You got to give him some time.
I
But
could have.
trust me, all the
I could have.
goals that come to American made, trust me.
I could
That
have directed him
Intercontinental
to.
title, Ivy Niles gonna be wearing that. The
I agree.
Creed brothers, them tag titles,
I agree.
Chad Gable, shoot, Braun Baker better watch out. That IC title is coming too.
All right, all right.
American Made will have all the gold before the year ends. Remember, I said that.
All the
Maybe
gold.
maybe two titles. Maybe two titles.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Don't
of
go.
it.
Don't go too
Both
crazy, though.
Intercontinental and the
He's
tag
going too
titles.
crazy right now.
Yes.
He's going crazy right now.
Listen,
All right.
man, Chad Gable, he deserves a push. That motherfucker, Sami Zayn, and this is why I hate it. He stole Chad Gable's moment. He stole his
He
moment.
did not steal his
Stole his
moment.
moment, bro.
All fucking they had to do was help Chad out. You know what I mean? Otis just had to put Sami Zayn out. You know, Chad get that title. We good.
Right,
They
right.
couldn't even do that, bro. They're fucking losers.
That, that's insane. But Alan, I'm glad that you're here because I've been going through something personal, and I feel like you're the guy that I can maybe explain what's going on. I just recently just went through a breakup, and I didn't really see it coming. I thought I was doing everything right. I thought I was supportive. I thought I was always, there when that person just needed me. And then on the Monday that just passed, over live television with just thousands, probably millions of people watching, I was told I was ungrateful. I was told that I don't even that I wear certain shirts to make myself feel better when I thought I was supporting. Um, and I was breaking up with. I didn't even have a chance to retaliate back. It also became just clear he was having an affair with some young kid in the crowd that looked more shocked than I was. Um, Mr. John Cena. I see. If I start tearing up, it's not any of y'all. I'm just still a little shaken up, but Adam, just when everything that's been going on, because I seen you, you also had a controversial take after he did turn heel compared to what I feel the mass of everyone else was saying. So just talk to us about the infamous just John Cena heel turn and how he's just broken up with the entire WWE universe.
So first of all, he broke up with you. He did not break up with me.
Oh,
We're still dating. Whether you like it or not, he might not know that we're still dating. But I'm still wearing my John. I'm still wearing his shirt. I'm still have his face on me. I give him a little kiss. So I never
all
got
right,
broken up with. So
all right.
he was saying you, like he was specifically talking to Justin. Like when he said I'm breaking up with you, to me,
We'll
he,
talk off
he
camera. It's
yeah,
cool.
he never told me specifically. So until he tells me specifically, but so I wasn't mad at the John Cena heel turn itself. I think if you actually watch the video, I explain like while it's happening. I wanted John Cena to turn heel because I wanted John Cena to turn heel. I wanted him to decide to turn heel, not the guy who's bald and fakes his fucking goosebumps every week. Okay, not Mister. Hey guys, by the way, I'm faking a little goosebumps. Check it out, everybody. Look. I didn't put ice on my arm beforehand. Look. I'm just
Wait,
getting some
hold
goosebumps.
on, cause
Come
hold
here
on.
with your
Wait, hold on.
bullshit.
Time out, time out. I don't like. Hold on, cause you're about to go off. I'm gonna let you go, Alan. But are you implying that it's not real goosebumps?
How you get goosebumps every time?
No, hold
Are
on. I'm
you
asking Alan. Hold
implying
on,
he
time.
gets? Wait, are you implying he gets real goosebumps?
No, well, you're not supposed to answer a
It's the
question. What
people's
I
champ.
wanted to know from you. You think? Are you saying it's fake goosebumps?
Everything about that guy is fake. Name one real thing about him.
That's the final boss, and I want you to stop right now, Alan.
Wait,
That's the
which character are we talking about? Just so I know. Are we talking about the
the
final boss, Dwayne Johnson? Are we talking about board of the director, Dwayne Johnson? Or are we talking about The Rock?
TKO.
Oh, we're talking about TKO board of director,
no.
Dwayne
Hold on. I'm
Johnson?
talking about the final boss. If you think you completed the WWE game, you didn't, because you didn't meet with the final boss.
Wait, but
That man might have multiple personality disorder.
no,
Though
I don't know which one we're talking about. That's why I'm trying to we're on the same page here.
you
I
might
don't
have
know
to
which,
go final boss.
we're talking about Final Boss himself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he fakes the goosebumps easily, 100%. That guy don't give a shit. That
All
guy's
right,
drunk half the time anyway.
people share version.
He's
All right, you
drunk.
know what?
He was.
I'm gonna let
Yo,
you have the floor, Alan. Go ahead.
okay.
You have the floor.
First of all, okay, yeah. So let me have the floor here for a second. The fact that that dude was more than likely drunk when he did it too, because this guy was drunk driving on the Raw on Netflix premiere. Yes, we saw it. We saw it on live television. This guy's drinking Terramana with his enemy, right? Remember his enemy is drinking a bottle of Terramana here, drinking a bottle of Terramana there, talking about how he spent 2 hours with the guy that he beat up and drinking, gets in his truck and drives away. That guy, I'm supposed to believe, convinced the greatest WWE superstar of all time to turn heel. Triple H, just let the guy fucking turn heel. Let the guy want number 17 by himself and low blow Cody Rhodes. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I need somebody to convince John Cena to turn heel? Why does The Rock have to be there? What significance does The Rock have to John Cena? Oh, it's the connection to the Illuminati. That's why Travis Scott is there. That sage smelled like shit in person. If he ever does that again, I will slap Travis Scott myself. Okay?
I thought it was weed. I thought he was sliding
No,
up.
it was sage, and it so I was on the side that he was like holding it out on, and it was going in our face. Like it was literally going in our face. And I was like, bro, I was yelling, Scott, turn that shit out. It smells like shit.
That's
Damn.
fucking crazy. I thought
didn't know
because
that.
remember on the Raw Netflix, he was smoking while he was coming out with Jey
Well,
Uso.
I think they told him after that, brother, we can't have no weed on this.
Yeah, they
I
probably
also
did.
I don't know if recreational weed is allowed in Toronto either, so I don't know if that was like another legal thing. But I just don't. My biggest thing that I did not like about the heel turn, I did not like that The Rock was involved in John Cena's story. I just don't see any reason for it. Like truly, like unless they figure out a way to tell me why The Rock had to be involved over this next, like we have obviously 8 more months of his year. The only thing that makes sense, he's just there so he can turn back, right? He's gonna turn on The Rock and he's gonna turn babyface. I just would believe in the heel turn so much more if John just went, I'm so excited to face you at WrestleMania, comes to give him a hug, and just low blows him, and then beats the fuck out of him and says, I need to win 17. It's best for business. Then I'd be like, all right, there we go. I like that. I see the real side of John Cena. He doesn't give a fuck about us. He just cares about 17. But having The Rock involved and doing the slit throat shit, I'm like, bro, fuck off. Fuck off. It's always about The Rock, bro. Or the
I think he had to ingratiate himself into this because you remember, like people like, and this is what I talk about with the IWC. Like they said it themselves. They were just like, "Oh, Rock's coming back to save WrestleMania. Rock's gonna do this. Rock's supposed to get Roman at Mania. Cody Rhodes stole the biggest match of WrestleMania." Like I think it was more so they hearing the chatter. And nowadays, I feel like Triple H, The Rock, everybody that's in the WWE, they do read what goes on online and they kind of pivot and adjust. And that's why we got Rock and Cody and Roman last year, because they do adjust. So I think it's one of those things. It's like, all right, let's just make The Rock give out an announcement and then let's ingratiate him into a story.
Real quick. I want to know, do you truly think the plan wasn't always Cody Roman?
It was wait, last year WrestleMania?
Yes. You don't think the plan was always Cody Roman?
Unless they were lying to us.
No,
like,
no, it was not. CM Punk was supposed to win the Royal Rumble and he got hurt.
Wait, you guys actually believe that?
Yes, I do.
No,
What do you believe, Alan?
I believe that Cody was always supposed to win the Royal Rumble like he did and like they said he was going to. And I believe the plan was always to be Cody Roman. And the whole we want Cody bullshit was them trying to remake the Daniel Bryan Yes movement. Because if you don't remember, at that next show, who was giving out We Want Cody signs in St. Louis? You know who was giving out We Want Cody signs in St. Louis?
I don't.
The second you walked in the door, WWE was giving out We Want Cody signs.
I thought that was off the strength of the fans. Well, that is a brilliant fucking maneuver, if you ask me.
Have you? Let me ask this: Have you ever tried bringing? Have you ever tried bringing in 10,000 pieces of paper into a stadium?
No, but them signs was loud and proud too. The thing is,
yeah, but have you ever tried putting up 40 signs in one area? What did they tell you to do?
What do they tell you to do?
They said you put the fucking sign down.
Oh yeah, but they were loud and proud too. But they said that was the most disliked video in WWE history.
Alan. I don't mean to be breaking news to you,
There's no way
but
you actually think The
see,
Rock was coming to wrestle Roman at WrestleMania. I
he
actually, I
was.
like,
It was gonna
I
wait. Hold on. It was gonna be the Rock versus Roman, and then it was gonna be CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins. Those were going to be the main
You
event,
really think they
and then
weren't gonna put
and
over
then
their
all
biggest
y'all
baby face
Cody
of the company?
crybabies came
You think the
along.
biggest baby face of the company wasn't gonna be main eventing WrestleMania? There's no way. There's no
There's a
way.
way. When there's a will, there's a way. And I'm
When
telling
there's
you,
when there's
and
the
I'm
final boss, there's a way because he gets to
no,
say
he.
so.
It would have been TKO that had happened, but listen, I'm telling you that he was gonna be
But then
baby.
again, when I did watch the documentary, it's kind of looks sus because now he's talking about, oh, I call Hunter. I said I have this great idea, and this is what you talk about where he kind of is always about The Rock. I have this great idea. How
Yeah.
about I go heel and we had the stipulation for night one? So it's kind of like it's up in the air though. But feel me. But they got me. So what you're saying right now is if I believe, yes, I fully believe. I believe that everything happened organically. Like I will stick to that because that was a roller coaster. I'll give you that 100%. That was a roller coaster of a mania. Like feel me? And when you had the tag team match for night one and then the night two was like, damn, did they think of that on the fly? Because Triple H said it in the documentary. He said, WrestleMania was damn near almost done. I had it written for the most part. So
The
shoot,
only thing I will say, I do think night one was pivoted with the CM Punk injury. I do think that The Rock being involved in the night one main event, the CM Punk injury did change that. I do believe that Drew was not going to win Elimination Chamber. I think that CM Punk was going to win Chamber, and you were going to get Seth and Punk in the night one Mania main event. I think the night one main event was different. The
okay.
fact that people still to this day believe we were going to get Rock and Roman on night two absolutely
So this
blows my
day,
mind. It blows my mind.
listen,
Like that.
So they
That's
said it
that's
was supposed
funny,
to be
dude.
30. They said it was supposed to be 39 as well, but they just didn't have
Well,
the right.
39, I believe it was going to happen. I do believe 39 it was going to happen, and I believe that at 40, Cody was going to end up taking it no matter what. But I just think, like, sometimes you need to just foreshadow and look ahead yourself. Do you understand that that would have meant, realistically, we had at least another year of Roman as champion?
okay.
It's not going down like that. Yeah.
Like, they had no storyline built around that, though.
Yeah, there was no real substance for it.
There was no storyline built around that.
But damn, I'm not
And
gonna lie
Roman, and the
though.
thing is, Roman was going away for 3 months no matter what to do that movie anyway.
That's
You're telling
true.
me they were gonna keep their main title off TV, literally past SummerSlam at that point? Come on, come on.
That is true. That does make sense though, because he did take a long break too, and then come back to SummerSlam.
And the only reason he showed up at SummerSlam when he was still filming the movie was just to do his little part in the Cody match.
And like, yeah, that definitely built some substance too. Because
You gotta
SummerSlam was definitely.
sometimes, Justin, you gotta look ahead sometimes and be like, all right, something here didn't make sense if they were gonna go this way.
I like to be delusional sometimes.
I mean, so do I. I completely agree with you. I love being that way. Like I still think that we had situations where I would have loved to see Seth and Roman for the World Heavyweight Championship at Mania. Would have loved that to happen somehow, some way, right? But we're here and that's not happening. So I'm gonna sit here. I'm
But
still
it kind
delusional
of works
thinking-
out best that way.
I'm still delusional. Seth's gonna win the match.
You think so? There's a
No,
chance.
he's not gonna win the match. CM Punk's gonna win the match by pinning Seth.
Okay,
There's
so
a
then
chance. Seth
I will-
Rollins could be a Paul Heyman guy on the
That's
low.
up in the air. That's up in the air.
okay, so just speaking of that match, right? Everyone talks about the favor. What favor does Paul Heyman OCM Punk? I thought it was a little something, maybe a little gem, or maybe I looked too much into it. I feel like on SmackDown last night, when all three of them was in the ring, CM Punk, Roman, and Seth, and then Paul Heyman's there, and I feel once CM Punk brought up the favor, I seen Paul Heyman say now. So it was like, what if it was now? What was gonna happen in that exact moment? So that just keeps my mind going. But I want to ask you, Alan, just what do you think the favor is?
Now I think that he has to leave his side for the match. I think that's the way it's gonna go. He's not gonna be his wise man for the match. I think that's his whole thing. Like you have to leave being the wise man for whatever situation it is. That's why when he said now, I think that was like a whole like, oh, Heyman has to leave. Like I gotta go, and stuff like that.
Man.
Because I don't
Because-
see. Listen, this is a little Allenownz lore. I was at Survivor Series in '02, which was the first ever Elimination Chamber.
Oh,
Before
that
that,
Sean one?
what? Yes. Before that, there was a match for the world title between Brock Lesnar and The Big Show. That Friday, there's a place in Brooklyn called Funtime USA. All the meet and greets when we were younger used to go down there because they would do the meet and greets there, whether they had a show in at the Izod Center, whether they had it at MSG, whether they had it anywhere in New York, whether even in Uniondale at Nassau Coliseum. They always did meet and greets at Funtime USA. I met Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. They were like, that was like my first time being like conscious and remembering meeting them because I don't even think I was 8. I was 8 years old at the time. There's a picture where Brock Lesnar puts me on his shoulder and we like take a picture and super cool guy. And I was a big fan of Brock Lesnar at that point. Like he was like a superhero. Like you looked at him and like he was like an action figure, right? Like as a kid, you were like, holy shit, this guy's huge. He had like the little crop top fucking haircut. Paul Heyman is hyping him up, saying that Brock Lesnar is gonna beat Big Show to a bloody pulp. He's gonna destroy the Big Show. He's gonna chop him down to size. He's gonna let him know who a real man is. And I'm hyped up like a little kid. I go to the show, and Paul Heyman turned on Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman turned on Brock Lesnar for the fucking Big Show. And if I see that happen when I'm at WrestleMania this year, I'm walking down there and I'm beating Paul Heyman's ass.
Damn. That's the second person you threatened to beat their ass. I'm not gonna like damn man.
We need to book you for a match.
I can only take one of those people though. I can only take one, Paul Heyman. I don't think I can take this out.
All right. Damn, that would be
Bloodline rules.
Oh, Bloodline rules. Allen versus Paul Heyman.
No, because then fucking Tama Tonga's gonna come beat my ass. No Bloodline rules, bro. Let me just get Paul Heyman 1-on-1.
All right. All right, so no, well, but that'll be interesting, though. You know, just the outcome of the match. I do think that CM Punk just wins the triple threat. I think by probably pinning Seth, because I feel it's this infamous thing that Roman can never be pinned again. But then I feel so CM Punk wins, and then he just goes for the World Heavyweight Championship. That's the end of the saga.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think it's just for bragging rights.
I think it's gonna be that's how he elevates himself to the World Heavyweight title. He's gonna say, "I took out the 2 best in the company. Now I'm going to take out the World Champion." I think that's definitely the way they're gonna go with it.
Damn. So CM Punk versus Jey Uso.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, you let Jay carry it for until maybe SummerSlam, I think.
I wouldn't be mad if he dropped it at like Backlash or next pay-per-view or something like that.
You can't just let him win that. Like
I think
if he wins that Mania, he can't lose it that fast, bro.
Yeah,
why not?
Why not? It's a Mania moment.
He can lose it on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all I think a Mania moment because
I don't think Triple H would book like that. I think that's something Vince would do, not Triple H.
I mean, he wouldn't lose in a fashion that like a Kofi did. But I think, but I think once you have that title, like it's not going to be believable if Jey Uso starts beating everybody. If he gets a sneaky win against Gunther, then by all means go for it. But if I think he's going to straight up beat him up, and then now all of a sudden we're taking Jey Uso as one of them serious wrestlers, then I can't personally believe it. I think it's a Mania moment, and which I'm rooting for, by the way. Like, feel me, I do want Jey to win. But going forward, like, feel me, this is the heavyweight title we talking about. Like, it has some type of substance when Seth Rollins was holding it, like, as a workhorse champion. Gunther, like, feel me, it looked cool at first. But, feel me, I think Damian Priest had a better run with the title than Gunther's had within this, for however long.
But remember, he didn't have a top 5 2024, so.
Yeah, but yeah, Damian Priest, like, I think I was more invested into his matches. The match with him and Drew McIntyre at Clash of the Castle. Who else? What else title defense did he have? It was that against Jay.
Yeah. And then just Gunther. I think he had that much in between that.
Wait, he didn't defend
that's
Seth?
it?
He didn't defend the did he
defend against Seth.
Money in the
Bank.
Yeah.
But damn, he did botch though. He botched like 2 matches though.
I think he was actually knocked out.
You think so? Yeah, because he definitely didn't kicked out. Yeah, and you see how they try to erase that? Like, feel me? Like, It happens though. That's the thing, and that's the thing where people are
But, I
harsh
mean,
about Jay
bro,
for botches.
I mean, you move on. Like, it's the one thing I would say. Like, botches really don't matter. Like, unless it's a situation that like there's a title change because of it. Like, what does a botch truly matter? Unless someone gets hurt or there's like something that's where it's like, all right, like we had to literally count to 3. We
I
had to.
think like it matters in the moment, right? Like imagine
Yes.
like imagine like in the WrestleMania finale, the Undertaker just messed up on the choke. They would be like, "What the hell?" Like that would be
I
mad
mean, but you'd
awkward.
move on from it. You move on from it. Like it's one of those things where it's
Yeah.
like I feel like no one's really had a botch where you don't move on from it. Like
Facts.
I'm not gonna like me personally. I've already moved on from Jay's botch over the top rope. I don't really give a fuck.
Oh no, I don't really
Nah,
care. I don't
Like
really
I
care
it
about
wasn't that
that.
crazy.
like
It
stuff
was,
like
it was
it's
Nah,
like
I ain't
cool.
going front though. They compared it to Top Dollar when he did that shit.
I mean, like Top Dollars was in the middle of a match though, wasn't it? That
I
was during
think
a
so.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
match was over. Jay Uso fucking was already winded from the fact that he yeeted for like 7 minutes straight. Then he had like a 1 minute match. The adrenaline's pumping. It happens. You know, he even laughed at it. You saw him laugh at it when it happened.
Yeah, he
He was like
posted
Yeah, he
laughing in
laughed
the
at it. He's
zone.
like, yo, fuck. Like he posted his own botch. He said, "Yo, real players fuck up," which is respectable. Feel me? You're not gonna sweep it under the rug. Like he owned up to it. He's just like, I'm gonna just get it back. So
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
probably expecting that. Like,
I move on from botches, like personally. Like I actually remember botches more when people fuck up on the mic than they do in a match. Like
yeah,
me
like
personally.
Yeah.
Like when guys
Yeah.
like I still laugh at the whole like LA Knight choking on his gum when he did the promo. Like
No, yeah,
stuff like
was
that. Like
hilarious.
but it's like that stuff like that's like funny to me. Like, bro, they're working entertainment
and it's live too.
in front of a live
Yeah.
television of millions of people. It happens. It
Yeah,
happens.
can't be perfect every night.
Solo almost said Solo almost said some crazy shit the other day.
He's
Like,
like,
who else?
yeah.
I mean Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy said I'm coming for the U.S. tag title.
Yeah, like, and people are like, "Oh, that's it. They're gonna bury Jimmy for saying that." I'm like, "No, the fuck they're not. Who cares?"
Yeah. Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
so
I
we
think
got about
people.
my full step. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I think people are a little too critiqued on that. Like, but then again, it comes to a point where everything is pinpointed. Like, just you could just mess up one move, and then it's just like, oh, this is why he doesn't deserve to be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
main event. Oh, this is why. Why is he getting a push? He can't even do this correctly. I like to see most of the people that critique everything. I want to see them go in the ring.
It's not
I wanna
even
see-
so. I feel like there's people that literally hate watch. Like there's a lot of people that just hate watch. That's just like their thing. Like, and you see it with like the other shows. Like people will hate watch the other shows just to hate on it. Like me personally, right? There's a lot of things that we see happen, in WWE nowadays that gets hate on the other show. Like, and I always find it funny because it's like, I was there for the steel cage match, right? How many motherfucking finishers or moves that should have ended that match did they kick out of?
Yeah,
You
I
know?
didn't know when it was gonna end at that
Like
point.
stuff like that, like the other shows get hate on all the time for doing, right?
No, they do.
But they talk about that was one of the greatest steel cage matches they ever saw. I loved it, right? But I also like that shit. Like I'm okay with you kicking out of finishers when you have two of the top guys doing it and like they refuse to lose to the other guy because of pride, because of ego, because of stuff like that, right? Like situations like that, like I'm okay with stuff like that. Like when like NXT, everyone tells me this is the best show because I just started watching NXT again. Everyone's like NXT wrestling is better than the main roster, and I'm like, guys, shut the fuck up. Are you watching the same thing as me? Like this is the shit that you hate on every other show for, and like it's slower paced or it's super fast paced. It's one or the other, right? It's not like the one thing about the main roster that they've mastered is pacing of matches. They're so good at pacing matches.
Yeah.
They're so good at like you can tell when you're coming up on good spots. You can tell when we're coming up on the finish. You can tell when they're going for a high spot. When I watch NXT, I don't feel that sometimes. Sometimes like shit will happen. I'm like, oh shit, okay, like that was kind of quick, or like I kind of didn't feel the lead up to it, but like all right, like cool, like I get it. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Shawn Michaels is also a part of the old era, where like the way that Shawn Michaels wrestled, motherfucker would like out of nowhere, if he's like, fuck it, I'm hitting a sweet chin music and I'm ending this, he'll do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but he was so good at it. Not everyone is Shawn Michaels. And I feel like he writes some of his matches where he thinks everybody else is Shawn Michaels. And I'm like, this just doesn't, like, not everybody's you, dog. Not everybody's you. And
You know,
when it comes to wrestling fans, there's people that they want to hate on something. They need it. They need to just like, it's like, that's the internet nowadays. I said it recently. Right when COVID happened, something switched. Like right when we got out of the COVID era, everything became so negative. People just want to look for the bad and shit. I'm over here like, bro, Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. People were like, fucking Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. Should have been John Cena. And I'm like, bro, did you watch John Cena in that match? And you really thought
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He was not. I told you the drip was horrible. He has the medical. He has the hospital.
Fabian, that's not what we argued about. So don't even try.
He has
anything, but that's not what we argued about.
The jorts are not even the same jorts anymore. He has the ball spot. He's pale as fuck. Like Allen, he's whiter than you. He doesn't look like John Cena. That's not Cena. That's not the Cena I know.
What's funny is how many people didn't watch for like the past like 7-8 years. And they see John Cena be this animated cartoon character where he does like his overreactions. It's all like, yo, when they were in the ring, and it was like the 6-7. He's like,
yo, thank you. Yo, I fucking hate that.
But it's like, that's his thing. That's been his thing since like, honestly, since like 2015, he's been doing that shit. Like, since he's done the...
He's been in Hollywood too much. That's the thing.
Mother flipping mustard, bro. You know, fudging flipping mustard and stuff like that. He takes his hat off and he's like, "Oh, they're gonna get me for that one on the internet." And then he puts his hat back on. I'm like, bro, like.
My thing is that it's funny because we had this debate. I feel within the last 2 weeks, we was talking about John Cena and how he looked in the Royal Rumble, and me and Fabian had a huge debate because I'm just pro John Cena, so I'm gonna be biased anyway. But I was just saying, I feel, and this comes in all sports, not even just WWE. I feel when you've been doing it for so long and you've been that number one guy, right? I feel towards the earlier part of your career, there's so much pressure to continue to be that guy, right? That once you're in your later stage of your career or right on your second half, you just appreciate the moments more than actually winning, losing, and it's all the extra stuff. Just still enjoying because you know you're older and you could probably see the other side. So I feel when I see John Cena before he did this whole heel turn, I think it was him probably still enjoying being the good guy before the heel turn. So he's probably was just getting it all out because I haven't seen him smile since. Right, so that's what we argued about. But yeah, he doesn't look like the John Cena from 2011. I don't look like me from 2011. Seb don't look like from 2011. So that was the debate we got into.
But if it's like your retirement, you know they've been pushing this. 2025 is my last year at wrestling. You would think he would cut that bullshit out, you know?
But you gave it a month, bro.
That 17, bro. I want to see him come out and look left and right. Like, bro, you're John Cena. You're not like
but here's the, you gotta remember, he's been doing that's where, again, I think a lot of people forget he's been doing that for years. Like, he's literally been doing that same thing. Like, people be acting like he hasn't, like, bro, he would come out with R-Truth and they're like doing like all the gimmick stuff. And I'm like, bro, like, because people were asking me, yo, has John Cena been this animated? I was like, you have not watched in the past like 7 years, have you? You have not watched like I always tell people, just go back and watch the Firefly Funhouse, right? He gave every part of his character, which they dissected it and like basically told us this heel turn was eventually going to happen anyway.
R.P.
Right?
Bray Wyatt.
R.I.P. Bray Wyatt. I was a huge Bray Wyatt guy myself, but like he was doing the animated shit back then too. You know what I mean? Like he's been doing this animated shit for years, and like people just started noticing, and they're like, oh, it was obvious he was being animated. So, like, he was just giving us signs that he's being overly faced. I was like, guys, he's been doing that for almost a decade. You just haven't been fucking watching because you thought wrestling wasn't cool anymore.
I'll be one of the ones. I'll be one of the ones. I told Justin and Fabe that I really got back into it. Well, and it pains me to say this, but it's two things. It's the Bloodline story. And it's when Cody was in AEW, because at the peak of AEW's first like 2 years, I'm looking at a different brand of wrestling. I'm looking at a little more vile, a little more just wrestling itself, and the storylines was a little bit better. and a part to when CM Punk did return into pro wrestling and with AEW. But those are the two things that after a while it got stale to me. After SmackDown Live, because I did feel like that era of SmackDown Live too, where they ingratiated NXT. They had all the guys you know now, the Damian Priest, the Gunther when he went by Walter. What's that? Ricochet. What's the other dude? The black dude that's in
Keith
that
Lee?
did the power bomb.
Keith Lee.
Yeah, Keith Lee. Yeah, like I feel like that was the upcoming talent too. Then you had the mixture of AJ Styles when he said the house that he built in SmackDown, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns when they was running Raw, even Braun Strowman when he even got a push then too, where he actually had some type of substance to his character. So that's when I last fully invested into WWE. After a while, everything just got boring at a point. Then we step into what the Thunderdome era. I feel like is then everything started picking up too, because then that's when Justin said it. I feel like that's what changed the industry when Roman teamed up with Paul Heyman, and that's what led to filming. I see a lot of people joining back in because even then we had a better Jey Uso character. Then we had Crash Out Jey Uso, where he's like, I gotta get you. Like, feel me? Those were more entertaining characters too. Than at a point too, when I'm looking at it, I'm just like, yo, Jey Uso actually getting a push. He wants the what's it, the Andre the Giant Royal Rumble 2 Battle Royale? Like, I'm looking at characters like that. I'm watching AEW. I'm seeing fucking Cody Rhodes wrestle Shaq. I'm like, Shaq wrestling? Like, feel me? Like, it's little bit surprised. Like, all right, it's entertaining. And when Cody joined back with WWE, I'm just like, all right, I'm fully invested. Because that was what, WrestleMania 38?
Yep.
That was the first WrestleMania I watched in a while. No, actually, I lied. The WrestleMania before that, in Tampa, where the
35?
main event was Edge, Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns. Yeah, that was the 35.
That's 35, right? Tampa.
Yeah, but I believe so.
When it like rained for an hour beforehand.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like Edge.
Because Vince came out and he said like, and that was when Vince came out. He came out to start the show.
Oh yeah. I think that was because they were supposed to have it, and Tampa was the only place at the time that could hold people that the COVID restrictions was lifted off of, and that's when I found out about Peacock too as well. You could watch WrestleMania on Peacock. So I was just like. So I'm just like, all right, WWE's picking back up. Now they're giving Roman a push. Now we have a solidified guy of the WWE. Because when I watched it, I'm like, oh, he stacked them up and then he pinned them and then he held the titles too. I'm just like, all right, we have a serious guy now. We have the guy that's the face. And then now we had a baby face. Now everything slowly starts to make sense again too. So like, feel me? Like it took a while for me to get back into WWE too. So like when we talk about the years of John Cena being animated, there's parts where I zoned out of it. And probably I went to Impact for a while.
Am I dumb? Sorry. 35 was MetLife. 36 was Florida.
36 was Florida. That was it for before COVID? Because 36 was supposed to be. Was that Drew McIntyre and
yes,
Brock
Lesnar? That was the year after COVID.
Okay, that was it. That was the year after COVID, or it was
that was that was like as COVID happened.
Okay, yeah, and then they did it back in Florida.
Yes, because that's the only place that would allow to have it.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. So move forward from that, but other than that, though, that's why I think that wrestling took a turn again. So where now it's just like, all right, it's gaining more traction. Now it's gaining more traction. Now you can't even go anywhere wrestling. Like even people like you watch ESPN, you go on First Take. They talk about John Cena heel turn. When was the last time you seen WWE on First Take? Now we got guys
to be fair. When Roman was double champ, they had him on ESPN.
Yeah. That's what I was going to go to. They had him, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. Like
I feel like now, due to the TKO partnership, what they got to do with UFC and everything behind the scenes, you're gonna see them more.
Here's the thing: you got to remember. I think a lot of people sleep on two aspects, right? It's the fact that WWE is willing to go more global and work with more brands. The one thing that Vince did, and I will be honest with you, I do think Vince did this a little better than the current regime does. Vince was very big on making sure that the WWE brand always came first. Nowadays, it's all about making sure that the WWE brand makes money, right? Like, they don't care about putting a Fortnite logo in the middle of the mat rather than having a WWE logo in the middle of the mat, right? Like,
that's true.
They're more about like, hey, we're assuming everybody knows this is WWE product, and we're okay with like selling ad space. We're okay with putting this on different like networks and stuff like that. We're okay with all this different stuff, right? We're just gonna assume that everybody knows this is WWE. Vince was very big on, you have to know this is WWE. I'm gonna stick it down your fucking throat and remind you that this is WWE and everything about this is WWE. The logo is going to be everywhere. We're going to show the logo everywhere on the screen. We're going to remind you it's WWE. We're going to sell you the WWE network and stuff like that. That was the one thing about Vince. Like, I'll be honest, I'm actually like, I do think the mat should be just the WWE logo.
Yeah.
I think it's great that they're making a lot more money by doing that, because that means that the wrestlers make more money. But the one thing that about this regime is they're okay with selling 5 PLEs to Saudi Arabia. They're okay with selling off PLEs all over the world, knowing that they're going to make money, but they're also going to be global. They know that they're going to have fans in Asia. They're going to have fans in Australia. They're going to have fans in Europe. But those fans can watch the product. You like the product way more when you have the ability to see the product in person. Like, anyone that's been to a show will tell you, once you go, you're like sucked in for the next 6 months, whether you want to be or not. Like, you have to keep up. You're like, all right, fuck. I saw that storyline happen in person. I got to see it play out. You know, like, that's how I got all my boys back into watching weekly, because they would watch my streams and stuff like that, because they're my home, like, it's all my best friends. They'd come and watch the stream, but they would like tune in, out. I brought them 2 years ago to a SmackDown, and they got to I brought them to a house show. It was a house show. They got to see Jey Uso Yeet, and they got to see LA Knight's Yes. When they saw that, it was over. They were just like, all right, it's back. And I was like, no, it's been back. I've been trying to get y'all back in since we were in high school, and y'all motherfuckers would not listen to me.
Yeah. And you know what? That's what I feel I'm missing, because I feel like I've like yeeted in my house, like just by myself personally.
Oh man, you haven't been? Wait, you haven't been since...
But I haven't yeeted in public, and I feel like I'm not getting the full yeet out. You feel what I'm
Justin,
talking about?
Justin, where do you live?
Baldwin. Yeah.
Bro, we've had house shows, we had SmackDowns.
It's just my work schedule is bad, and it just really don't be working out. But I'm going to one this year. Like, I'm definitely going to go. It's just my schedule. Like,
we have to
real.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, you gotta go to SummerSlam.
I'm trying to go.
Even if you don't go to SummerSlam, we're gonna get a house show, whether it's at the Coliseum, whether it's the Westchester County Center is where the cheapest one by us is, man. Like, I tell people all the time, if you can't afford going to Nassau, because the Nassau house shows aren't cheap, right? We're not gonna sit. The Westchester County Center, like, they had tickets for like $60, and like it's a 6,000 person arena. Like, you're sitting there and like you're basically on top of the ring no matter where you are, and like. When you're in an intimate arena, that's why it kind of sucks that all these shows are at bigger and bigger arenas and stadiums. When you're at a smaller show, like you're at a 6,000 person like arena and you're seeing a WWE show, it's so different. There's something about the energy there that's like insane. It's in my opinion, it's why NXT looks cooler. Because they have so many less people that are way more invested.
They're more engaged.
Louder. Yes. It's way easier to get 1,200 people engaged than it is to get 30,000 people engaged, 60,000 people engaged. You know what I mean? Like, when we were at NXT for Roadblock at the theater.
The Garden?
Yeah, in the theater. Like, people, I think, what's the capacity on that? 5,000, 4,000, somewhere like that for the theater. Someone would have to look that up. I'm not sure, but it's way easier to get that many people going crazy for NXT than the Garden itself with 20,000 people. Right. You know? And at Monday Night Raw, I was there. Listen, I got invited by Netflix. I was there with the celebrities. Motherfuckers had no idea what was going on. You know what I mean? Like, people just want to see what's happening. It's WWE. Like, people just want to know why the ticket's $500, why everyone's going crazy for this stuff. When you're at a show, it's a different world, man. It's different.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that too, because I wanted to go just off the strength of seeing the Hardys again. But I might have to wait till Slammiversary.
I'll be at Slammiversary, 100%. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and especially with the incorporation of NXT now too. I really do wish that they saved the Moose versus Obafemi match for like something like that.
Well, I hope they give us Hendry and Oba at Slammiversary.
That's a tough match.
That's a real champion versus champion match.
It's a tough match.
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought the X division was like sort of like a cruiserweight thing. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was like
they killed that so long ago.
Yeah, because they don't even have the X division rope match too. The shit that look like the Money in the Bank. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, I'll tell you what happened.
Elevated X.
Hogan and Dixie Carter, you fucking ruined TNA when you took out the six-sided ring.
That is fair. That is a fair argument.
They fucked it over, man. TNA had its own unique style too.
I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna argue it. That one I'll give
Nah,
you.
but then look, no, that's a good point. But then I be hearing wrestlers today saying that once they did switch it, it was less wear and tear on the body. That the six sided
Which
ring
is
was a
fair,
lot.
but
Yeah.
like you gotta understand is like nowadays, especially back then, you had to separate yourself. Even nowadays, like I'll be honest, and this might be a hot take, and people might hate me for it. If I want to watch wrestling, like the wrestling that I know I want to see, the exciting, fast paced, cool shit, I'm gonna turn on an AEW pay per view, right?
Fuck.
Like
Watch some
I mean, listen, I when I saw Will Ospreay in person, I
Fucking great
honestly think
wrestler.
my life changed. No joke. I think my wrestling life changed when I saw Will Ospreay in person. Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland is the greatest match that I've ever watched in person in my life.
You think
Like,
so?
bro,
I'm not mad at that. That was a good
I've
match.
been to a lot of matches in my life. Like I've seen a lot. I've seen Shawn Michaels when I was younger. I've seen Cena. I've seen Orton. I've seen Edge. I've seen Bryan. Bro, Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay was in person watching it. The emotions that I felt, the excitement, seeing it all unfold, I was like literally jaw dropped. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And then seeing the match end on that JML driver, I stood up and I clapped. Like when you stand up and you're like, wow. Like I
Yeah.
just like stood up, I clapped, and I said, wow. Like I just saw something that like I think people are gonna talk about for a very long time. And I got to see when I saw Osprey and Fletcher at Full Gear, I became a huge Fletcher fan because Fletcher now I think is the next Will Osprey. And I'm like, what the fuck? And now you just saw their cage match. That's probably the greatest
Yeah, they
cage
said
match
that
I've
cage
ever
match
saw.
was better than the Rollins and Punk. But
It's not even close to how much better that cage match is. Like I can't even put Rollins and Punk in the same stratosphere as that cage match. And those are two of my favorite ever. Like
nah, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That I understand that point because me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm an AEW hater because
That's
I
fair.
just think Tony Khan don't know what he's doing. I think he have a lot of great talent, but I just think that is not
I don't
put
watch for the
together.
storyline. So here's the thing. I try to tell you this. I don't watch for the storylines, and I only watch pay-per-views, and I can keep up with the storylines just by watching the pay-per-views. If I've never been disappointed watching an AEW pay-per-view ever. Like I've
Yeah, I
never
heard
been
that.
disappointed.
Yeah, I heard that they have
Like
good matches, great matches.
matches wise, oh my god, it is fucking banger after banger, and I'm like, how the fuck is this? Because I'm not gonna watch the TV show. I just hate to break it. Like I say it all the time.
Nah,
Like
yeah.
I can't watch AEW regular television. I tried one time, and I'm just like, yeah, you're not putting on a Will Ospreay match. I'm not watching.
No,
Nah, yeah.
I
It's
felt
just
that way
with the
too. The match that got me hooked. That's it. I could watch highlights of it. Or I could watch the match itself. I seen Will Ospreay versus Darby Allin. I think this was around Christmas time.
Yep.
I said, "Holy shit! This is actually this is a great match. Like I can't hate on the match. I'm just like, yo, like feel me? Like this is they got talent. They got a lot of great talent over there. Like
Here's what got me hooked to AEW. So I would watch highlights when it first opened and stuff like that. Like I watched the first All In, or what I don't even. It was just called All In, right? I don't even think it was just called straight up All In. Rey Mysterio was on the fucking card. I watched the first All In itself. After that, I would tune in here and there, whatever, whatever, whatever. What really got me was when MJF and Will Ospreay had their 60-minute match. One of my buddies texts me 20 minutes into it, goes, yo, MJF and Will Ospreay have just gone for 20 minutes. I think this match is going an hour. You have to tune in. I tuned in. The match was a 1 hour banger. I was like, what am I witnessing right now? Like, what am
yeah,
I
and those are tough
actually
to pull off
witnessing?
those
Yeah,
long
bro,
matches.
it was 60 minutes of bangers. The match ends, obviously, for time limit. They put the mask on MJF, and I was like, holy shit. Like,
Okay.
that was awesome.
Nah, yeah. I think just for me, like AEW, make your money. Everyone who's there, do your thing and just make the best out of your career. So that's how I feel when it comes to that. But to your point, I think for me, the thing with WWE, yeah, it's the matches to an extent, but then it is the storyline. Cause I want to know. how did we get here, and does it make sense? Like I be seeing clips of like the Ricochet and the Swerve storyline, and sometimes I'm just confused and I don't really understand what's
But do you
really going.
watch? Do you watch it?
No, I don't watch it
So
fully
I'll
though.
get
I
you
mean,
So
that.
I watch a little because feel me. I still like if I'm gonna dislike something, I'm gonna want to know why I dislike. I'm not gonna
You're a
go.
hate watcher. That's what they
Yeah,
call
I'm a
you.
hate
You're a hate
watcher.
watcher.
Feel
You're a
me?
hate watcher.
But I'll give credit. I'll give credit where it's due. Like there's certain wrestlers I give credit where it's due. Like MJF.
Let me ask you
Swerve
this.
Strickland.
Be honest. Be honest with me. You don't like the Mox storyline, do you?
Oh, it's fucking awful. I feel like
I
he's
think it's
just
awesome.
OP.
I think it's awesome. But that's the whole fucking point. You just said the point. He's an
I don't.
OP fucking heel
I
that
don't.
nobody can get rid of.
Yeah, but
He's
the
an
thing
old
is,
school heel.
he's a fucking masochist. Like it's like his
Yes,
whole thing is like
yes.
I need to
Bro.
get bladed.
Yo,
like
yeah,
he thinks he's
yo.
Mick Foley.
Yo, and let me be honest with me. You thought the Spike shit was cool or not?
No,
Yo,
I
you're
thought
a
it's
fucking
crazy.
liar.
I thought he actually got hurt.
You're a
No, I
fucking
think-
liar. That
I
shit
think-
was sick,
no, it was cool.
bro.
And they
It was
fucked
cool.
up. You know what
It
they
was
fucked up
cool.
at? Hold on. They fucked up once Christian Cage didn't do that contract thing. And Christian Cage was putting fucking AEW on his back with your father, with the Jungle Boy, with everything. Christian Cage was one of the most entertaining aspects of that part. If you want to talk about wrestling and entertainment, Christian Cage was the best entertainer for AEW at that time too, because he had no filter. No matter what it was, he told Edge Cope to go fuck himself.
As he
I'm just
should.
like, yo,
Yo,
he said that on live TV.
Listen. When he got Spike in his back, I was like, yeah, let's fucking go.
That was one of the most gory things that like that I've seen just in the wrestling thing, man.
Yeah, and he had to tell him they couldn't get it out. He told his other guy, he's like, yo, go do the spot. But yeah, there's another thing too. A lot of things that make me hate too.
Wait, real quick. You guys are probably too young. Do you remember King of the Ring with Shane McMahon against Kurt Angle?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where he did the German suplex and then the glass didn't break and then he had to do it like
he had to do it 3 times and he dropped Shane on his head.
Yeah.
Three separate times straight on his head.
Yeah.
I would rather see Spike than see a guy get dropped on his head 3 different times.
Well, you gotta remember, all right, if you want to see gory in a lot of things, you gotta remember what Shane McMahon was doing. Shane McMahon would take a fucking leap of faith from damn near the Eiffel Tower.
When Blackman hit him and he fucking...
Yeah, like, you don't see stuff like that anymore. Like, even with his feud with Kane, too, like, I'm just like, all right, we're getting to a point where it's like, damn, like...
But you don't think that stuff's cool?
Nah, it is to an extent, too, but
cool
like...
because Shane McMahon did it, not because Moxley did it, right?
No, because Moxley, he does this.
That's all I gotta know.
He has this thing where he just like he needs to get bladed, like and there needs to be blood in the match in order for it to sell. Like I don't know. I just feel like it's just like he's not talking, he's not doing too much. But then again, there was one episode at the end. So
Cody wasn't doing that the entire build up with him and Rock.
No, yeah. But he was smart though. Nah, there's points where I do
smart.
like
he was smart.
I'm trying to give Moxley credit here because there's some ones I do like, but overall, I just feel like it gets boring, like it's a takeover. Like, but the thing is, I hate is just like it's not like the right matchups too. So you got Moxley.
I will agree with you that I do agree. I do think some of the matchups are a little.
Then you got fucking Cope and the Young Bucks. I fucking hate the Young Bucks. Let's just put that out there. They have the worst wrestling fits I've ever seen, bro. It's like they're stuck in the 70s.
I think that's their thing, though. Isn't that their thing, though?
It's the worst thing ever. They're damn near fat. Like it was cool, Bobby, like when All In first came out. But now it's fucking atrocious.
I'll just say this. Look, me personally, if I want to see crazy fun wrestling, I will watch an AEW pay-per-view. If I want storylines and something exciting to watch every single Monday and Friday, like a soap opera, I'm watching WWE.
True.
Like, I like to be real. I'm not watching WWE for the wrestling unless I see a Seth Rollins Finn Balor match.
True.
Damn, so you feel like the wrestling in WWE you feel has really regressed to that point?
Jey Uso against Austin Theory was a banger, bro. 5-star, bro.
No, that match we can't even use that as a reference point. I don't know what happened in that match. He did the first ever
crossbody spear,
and then like
so what matches did we have this Friday?
We had Zelina Vega and Piper Niven. You had the tag team match, right? Liv Morgan and Jake. None of the matches was too crazy. shout out to Jay Cargill though. She is getting better in the ring though. I did notice that. You don't think she was better?
Brother.
Yo, I'm not even trolling you. Wait, you don't think from when
No,
she just came in?
You're being serious? Or are you fucking around? No, I'm actually being serious. You being serious? Fucking around.
What's wrong with Jay Cargill? What's wrong with that matches?
I was from what
Bro, she did 3 kip ups because she kept fucking them up. So she tried to get it good on TV. She did 3 different kip ups. And she did the same move to set up the kip up.
No, she didn't have to
fucked
do
up
that.
the kip up 3 times, so she had to keep
she didn't
doing
have
it.
to do that all 3 of those. That was a little unnecessary. But I feel she from the last time we seen her, not on the back of Bianca Belair, I think she had a decent one-on-one affair with a veteran.
Yeah, but again,
well, maybe it's because Liv Morgan does
so
care.
good. Liv Morgan's so
Yeah,
good.
I seen her against Io Sky live. I'm like, yo, these females could really wrestle.
Yeah, yo,
and that's why Io Sky is probably my favorite women's wrestler right now.
I think Liv doesn't get the respect she deserves because she loses a lot, but it's like she loses and the match is good, right? Like when she does lose, like when she not obviously when she became champion, she kept winning whatever, but like when she was losing, everyone's like, why is Liv even in this situation? Bro, she's really fucking good.
Yeah, she has a great
sell.
She's
really good at this wrestling shit. Like,
she can sell like a motherfucker. Like she could really sell,
and she helps the matches flow way better. Like she gets it. Like there's certain people where like they get it. Like the thing is like again, you know the whole like where I said like Tozawa against Drew McIntyre. As much as I love Zelina, her against Piper it's not believable. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not believable.
Yeah, like that's supposed to be a squash match. That's like supposed to be Umaga versus Tajiri.
Like, and the thing is like they kept teasing Zelina hitting her finisher on her, and I'm like, are we really gonna see that sunset flip happen? You know what I mean? Like that was gonna
be tough to pull off.
Yeah, and I believe it. I believe Piper can easily do it. You know what I mean? I can see like I trust in Piper Niven, but it's like. Again, Friday, none of the matches wowed me. Monday, none of the matches wowed me. Like, we haven't had any matches in a while in WWE that's not been a PLE that's wowed me while watching it. You know what I mean?
I'll say the tag match with the women's tag match. I liked it a lot.
Which one?
Liv and Raquel versus Naomi and
that's fair, but like I feel like again stakes had us on the edge of our seat more than the match itself. I think like the whole exciting aspect of like because the near falls weren't going to happen if titles weren't on the line. We agree,
right?
Like when there's a title involved, I think it's a little bit of different. Like Io Sky against Rhea Ripley, that match was good. It wasn't oh my god, it was a good match. It wasn't a great match. I was like when I was watching it, I was like, I have a feeling that Io's about to win this, but like. How are we gonna get there is gonna be a little weird. Same thing like Shinsuke beating LA Knight. Like I mean LA Knight beating Shinsuke, I was like
you sort of knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, and at the same time, like that match wasn't anything special.
But what about even before that? Like I think we had like 2 solid main events. I think Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. That was like
again. I said Seth Rollins is the one thing. If Seth Rollins is in a match, it's gonna be a banger.
Yeah, then him and CM Punk.
Him, like there's 4 guys I will say the match is going to be good if they're in it. Finn Balor, guaranteed good match. Seth Rollins, guaranteed good match. Drew McIntyre, as long as the other guy just has any idea of what's going on, it's going to be a good match. Those 3 guys have put on great match after
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna throw in a sneaky one. I don't know if you remember this. This was for the elimination qualifier. I think that CM Punk and Sami Zayn, that match was a good match.
Yeah, Sammy is great at putting people. I think Carmelo Hayes is another one. I think
he's fucking great. Yeah, he deserves
like,
a push.
They don't let Carmelo look strong, so sometimes it's just like he could put on a banger match. I know he's gonna lose, so it's like the match quality itself to me just goes down when I'm like.
I think he's just paying his dues now. That's what it is.
I just feel like, yo, listen, I think the paying that dues shit gotta go, man.
I don't know. But he's due for a 1, and that's why people are having for money in the bank.
Listen, pay your dues against a Randy Orton. I get that, right? Like you pay your dues against a Randy Orton, stuff like that. I don't think you should be taking losses to guys that are mid tier,
like Jimmy Uso.
Damn, we're putting Jimmy there.
No, yo, shout out Jimmy Uso, but I just think that.
But like, yes, I think like a Carmelo Hayes needs to look like he's on the same level or better than Jimmy. Even if he loses, he needs to look like he's on the same level or better.
And
But,
the
like,
same thing that happened with the 7 series with against Andrade. I hated how it ended.
Yes, I agree with that as well. But, like, think about this, right? With Braun Strowman, they made it seem like the only way Carmelo stood a single chance is if he either cheated or got a crazy roll up or got the 10-second count out, right? You did not think at all that Carmelo Hayes was on the same level as Braun. I think guys like him are so fucking good. He can lose, but make it seem like he's on Braun's level.
Like put up a fight, yeah.
Yes, just so he can elevate him, right? Like I don't need the random. Oh, he hits a code breaker and then hits like his first 48, goes for his finisher, misses, gets hit with the slam, and it's over, right? Like stuff like that. Like it makes it like, oh, Carmelo Hayes is just there, right? And I feel like they did that with everybody except Braun Breaker.
Yeah, that's true. Because I feel like even a guy like Dominic Mysterio is still paying his dues to this day. Yeah. And that's somebody I feel like that could really, like, if you put him in the right situation, like he could have been had the IC title. Like I don't know why we stopped at the North American title with him.
I personally listen, I can't wait for Ilya to come back. I'm really excited for Ilya to come back.
Yeah, he's a wrestler. He's a wrestler.
I like the way he wrestles. Like he has that AEW style of wrestling. Like that like hard-nosed, gritty, like I'm going to make every match seem like I'm trying to kill the other guy and I'm trying to get myself killed. I like that shit. That stuff's exciting to me. Keith Lee was that same way. Motherfucker, when he did a sit-down powerbomb, like he would do the pop-up and then he would sit down, motherfucker would like make the person bounce and shit.
Nah, yeah. Nah.
Like y'all remember, I don't know if was it Survivor Series when he hit it on Roman, and like Roman's body like turned over and he had like the crazy.
The Keith Lee, yeah, that was like the NXT version. Yeah, I was just watching the clips of that too. I'm just like, damn, we used to have that tradition though.
Yeah, but I'll be honest, I get why they got rid of it, because you're not gonna do it right now with Crown Jewel being a thing now.
Yeah,
because you're doing champion versus champion there. You're not gonna run champion versus champion twice in a year, and if you did brand versus brand, like one brand has to be weaker than the other, and they split it really equally right now. And
True.
like you're not gonna have a side that has, is Roman's on Raw? Is he technically Raw?
I think Roman's SmackDown.
Is he SmackDown?
You know, he might be Raw now though.
He's labeled to SmackDown, I believe, but he be on. I just think because of the Netflix thing.
Yeah,
he
I feel like
to be on Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the main attractions. So they had to.
It's one of those things where it's like, I don't think you could do it that old way. And at the same time, that NXT roster, I made a video about that. I said that NXT roster was the last believable roster to challenge. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna believe anyone after Obafemi being and Trick. Obafemi and Trick look like main roster guys. After that,
what about Ethan Page?
I like Ethan Page, but like his character isn't believable right now to go up against a Seth Rollins, is he?
No, not really. No.
He look like he's a jobber.
Am I supposed to believe that Javon Evans is going up against Seth Rollins? Am I supposed to believe that Eddie?
That would be a great match, though. That would be a good match.
Yo, okay. I'm gonna give y'all a hot take. I don't think Javon Evans' style belongs in WWE and should be in AEW with the rest of that stuff.
With the high fly, I mean,
I get what you're saying.
Real quick. The jumping RKO that he did, he literally landed through the table himself.
All right, I'll give you that.
We saw that in person, and I was like, listen, if you're gonna go for a move like that,
at least make it look like you didn't get hit on the spot.
And he goes through the table and gets right back up, and I'm like, brother, Ethan didn't even touch the table.
No, I mean,
I feel like with someone like, a Javon Evans, I feel he's just such a talent to have. They'll try to utilize him just the right way, because we've seen someone like just Ricochet who, was a great talent, but just couldn't do the other stuff, I guess, that really makes you a top
guy. Yeah, but
guy.
We're not going to compare Javon Evans to Ricochet, right? Ricochet is 10 million times better in ring than Javon. It's not even close.
I think if we're going to pair somebody to Ricochet, I think it would be Wesley.
That's fair. I would agree.
I'm
Wesley's a
just
better.
saying in terms of right now they see they have a raw prospect with Javon Evans that he has a high upside. Ricochet, of course, has done great thing within WWE, but I'm saying he's in AEW now. He has that real unorthodox style. I don't think WWE should let some of these guys go with just such these
Well, no,
high
I'm not
upside.
saying that you let these type. Like, I'm just saying, like, they need to like be like, hey, like, you need to start learning a little more of the WWE style of
Okay.
in-ring wrestling. Like, you are super athletic. You're doing all this cool, fancy stuff here and there. Like, when I was at NXT 2300, he tried to do that frog splash like all the way across the ring, and he like skid on his knees,
Yeah.
right? Because like he couldn't make the jump, and I'm like, bro, like you're at NXT 2300. Like this is like a promoted like big event. Like people are talking about this. Bubba Ray is here. Like they're pushing this event, and like you're going for all this fancy stuff, but it's like if you're not gonna hit it or you're not gonna make it look perfect, just drop it. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to do like if that's your only way to get by the time you're 30 years old, you're not going to be as athletic as you are at 20.
No, that's true. That's true. Because
You know, like you got to.
Shawn Michaels said that about Rob Van Dam one time. He said, he said like you got to have like some substance. Like you really like what you do. Like your in ring work is like great. Feel me? You can do stuff that a lot of people can't do. But it's like you don't got to show it all in one setting. Like feel me? Like yeah, make what works. But then feel me? Say if it's like a big match or like a pay per view, then you back out something in your arsenal too. So I get that part too, and that's why feel me. I think he's still like a raw prospect. He's over with the fans though, just off the personality. He's really like a young kid, and then like feel me, people want to see the best for him and want to watch him develop into people's eyes. So I get that part.
Speaking of young kids, who do you think's the best under 20-year-old in professional wrestling?
Damn, under 20? How old are some of these people?
There's only one answer to this, and he knows the answer. He just doesn't want to say it.
20?
Under 20.
You know the answer. You know the answer.
I don't know. Seb knows. I don't know.
Seb knows.
Are you gonna say Javon Evans?
Nope.
Under 20. Who's under 20? Will Ospreay?
No, he's like 28.
I'm trying to think. Who's
under 20.
Justin, you wouldn't know because you don't watch it. He knows. Seb knows.
Okay.
He's in AEW? Fuck. I'm trying to think who.
He's got a house call just as good as Swerve Strickland.
You gotta tell me. You
know it.
I'm trying. I can't think. This is like for me.
I'll give you a hint. Father.
What's that kid's name? I know who you're talking about.
You don't know his fucking name?
Oh fuck.
Wait, is it like the young kid that?
It's not Jungle Boy. It's not Jungle Boy.
His name's Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne, yes, fucking Nick Wayne.
He is so fucking good. It is.
Shout out to his mom.
Yo, let me tell you this. Talking about someone that if he was in NXT right now, they would talk about he's the future face of all professional wrestling. He is so fucking good. It is because he understands professional wrestling. His in-ring psychology, his moveset, like when they had the feud with Christian and Swerve and all that stuff, he like was supposed to challenge Swerve Strickland. He had a match with Jack Cartwheel, who's a WWE ID guy, and his psychology was he hits Wayne's World, which is basically like a jumping cutter, and he hits his finisher, and he goes to pin him. Ref goes 1-2. He gets up and he's like, hold on, let me do something real quick. Sets him up and hits the nicest house call you will ever see. Like he literally made Swerve Strickland's house call look like amateur. Hits it, pins him, and then just like what like dust off.
You see, that's the thing. I was like, feel me? I know Nick Wayne is like just off the strength of I know who he is and just the role he plays in the Christian Cage's faction. If he had like a little more substance to it, the name would stick out a little bit more.
He doesn't wrestle as much in AEW. That's the problem. Like he does like I saw him on the Indies a couple times and I was like, yo, this guy is fucking. I was like, my God. Like sometimes you watch kids wrestle. Like when you go to like because I don't know how often you guys go to indie shows if you guys ever go. When you go to an indie show, sometimes people just stick out. Like Private Party. When I saw Mark Kwan hit his 630 senton, I was like, that's it.
Yeah,
That's cinema.
they having moves out of nowhere. What's the other guy that was in Private Party? He was with Matt and
Cassidy?
Jeff.
Oh
Huh?
no. Who else?
He was
Well, Prime.
he was doing streams with Matt and Jeff Hardy.
I know Quan and Cassidy are the two members of
Yeah,
Private Party.
Cassidy. He could be WWE talent. He could be NXT talent.
Both of them are like they're unbelievable, but they're House of Glory guys, and I saw them at House of Glory like years ago, bro. I saw Jacob Fatu against Bronson Reed on the Indies years ago. It is so cool when you go to the Indies and you see these guys like make it to like the main rosters of like AEW, WWE.
Yeah.
Like Megan Bayne is going for the AEW World Title. I saw her at House of Glory a year ago. Like when she was just doing independence and now she's fighting for the world title in AEW. Like shit like that makes the indies so exciting. And being in New York, bro, we have like 7 different indies around us. We have House of Glory, you have Wrestling Is Now, NYWC. I'm going to watch Odyssey Jones in 2 hours.
Odyssey Jones, damn.
Yeah,
They
my
fried
guy.
him, man. They fried him.
That's actually like one of my like homies, like IRL.
Oh, yo, they fried him, man.
Yeah.
Tell him I said my fault. It would have been an interesting storyline.
I mean, I hope they eventually let Boy back in because
Yeah, I heard that filming the rumor reports were like false or whatnot. So like
there's a legal thing going on, and since
yeah.
I know the party, I can't really talk too much.
Right. I respect.
I will say this: I'll put my reputation on the line and say that it's all hearsay. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, because the way they were going with him, he like a prospect.
Listen, WWE is very easy for them to just be like, "No, I'm just gonna wipe my hands clean," and
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You remember I was saying that earlier. It's more so like if we're talking about just any slightest bit of things, like WWE don't want no part of it because they have a whole brand to represent now. Because we're talking about just all the partnerships, so even with Saudi, with Prime, they can't have nothing like tied in with them. That's why I feel like they haven't even mentioned. Well, they mentioned Brock Lesnar's name, but they don't try to you can't really erase history.
Yep.
Damn.
But shit.
We've been talking for a long time, and I don't know, like I said, how busy you are.
I got like 5 minutes because I gotta get ready to go to this show.
All right. So we'll finish it like this. Once again, thank you for coming on the platform. Hopefully, we go work together real soon in the future. I'm gonna personally talk to you, Alan, because I got some business ideas I want to run by you and just see how you feel. So we'll try to exchange numbers if possible. But give us your Mount Rushmore in just wrestling. So it doesn't gotta be WWE, AEW, anything. Just from you watching.
Are we talking about like overall in ring or just like?
Just overall, the top 4 people or the 4 most monumental to your life. This is your give me the 4. It could be female, men, just the 4 people that you feel just throughout your life. These 4 have meant the most to wrestling to me.
To me, or like what? If you
to
mean like
you, just you,
just me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's then that changes it. You know what I mean? So if you go just me, it's Cena, Stone Cold, Angle, Rollins.
Okay,
Just
you said
me.
Cena, Stone Cold, Angle. You said Rollins?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay,
Seth Rollins is my favorite wrestler for the past, I'd say, 10 years.
Okay. Now, how much does your list change now if you're doing just for what it's meant to, just not just you, but just wrestling period? Like
then it changes a decent amount. Yeah, it changes a decent amount.
All 4 people?
Well, 2 of them.
Okay, so now let us hear the other one.
So you gotta add Hogan and Flair.
You gotta add Hogan and Flair.
And you gotta I would say that it's Stone Cold. Well, Hogan, Stone Cold, Flair, Cena.
Oh, you got me, brother.
No Undertaker.
No.
That's tough.
No Shawn Michaels.
No.
Damn, I'm just throwing some names out there just to see how you feel.
I like I said, I think all of those guys play their part. I think
Andre the Giant.
Again,
I
think the 4 guys that I named have the most significance to professional wrestling being where it's at to this point.
Okay.
I think if you go gimmick wise, right? Because a lot of people always say, "Oh, Ric Flair is a gimmick. His whole life is a fucking gimmick." Like people talk about, "Oh, Undertaker perfected the gimmick." Ric Flair lived this fucking gimmick and ruined his life for his gimmick. You gotta remember that. The man literally ruined his life for his gimmick, and he's gonna probably outlive every single one of these motherfuckers somehow. You know what I mean? Hogan has, if we're gonna like, it's the one thing that like, again, I don't like the guy. I actually was never a fan of Hogan myself. My cousins were like big Hollywood Hogan guys. I was more of the Outsiders guy. I loved Nash and Razor Ramon, Scott
Okay.
Hall, and I never really liked Hogan. I always thought like it was weird that they had this fucking like dude who bleached his hair and has this huge bald spot, but he just wears a bandana. Like no joke, I used to make fun of that motherfucker. Like when we were younger, I used to be like, "Yo, this grandpa's on my goddamn screen," and they're like, "Yo, he's not even that old." My cousins would tell me, I'm like, bro, like this guy's like literally like our grandpa's age. Like, what are we talking about? And so to me, like, I was never a big Hogan guy. To deny his importance to like professional wrestling in general, to deny that would be like we would not be as global, we would not be as big. Would we have probably eventually got here? I think so. Professional wrestling itself is just like it's one of those things that I think would have been undeniable at one point or another, but he made it happen. You can't take that away from him. Stone Cold took it to a peak that I don't know if we'll ever see in the USA again. Globally, I think we have peaked much higher. Then you bring in the Cena, which Cena, I believe, helped make WWE global. If you didn't have an ambassador like John Cena during the expansion to this global era, I don't think we're global without a John Cena. Like, he was a perfect guy to be like, to really expand us globally, you know? Like, Stone Cold would have been awful because they would have been like, this guy's an alcoholic, wife abuser. Ric Flair would have been absolutely terrible, bro. Holy shit. Like, that would have been. And Hogan was just, nobody was going to believe Hogan.
Fuck Hulk Hogan.
I agree with you. Fuck Hulk Hogan. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't like The Rock. If I had to have a top 20 wrestlers all time, he'd probably be number 20. You know what I mean? Like, I'd have to put him in there.
All right, Alan, you need to stop. The Rock is top 5, top 10 all time. Don't do that, Alan. Alan, stop. Just what are you talking about?
In terms of what?
And-
No, just wait. Just sell me on the Rock real quick. I'm curious. Sell me on.
All right, hold on. I feel just off this alone, he has to be top 10. He has probably arguably the best feud in WWE history.
The best feud in WWE history is Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I mean, you can't lie.
That
I mean, that's a feud everybody wants in real life.
Hold on. So I'm not gonna debate that. That's a huge moment. Like, just period. I'm not debating. But if you're gonna tell me The Rock and Stone Cold, what that meant?
No. That's not even his biggest match.
I didn't say that was his. But I'm saying that.
That's not even the most important moment in Rock's career. What's the most important moment in Rock's career?
I can't tell you that his most important moment.
Yes.
Let me hear.
It had to be that him and.
No, what am I thinking of, Seb? You come on, get in my head real quick.
What? With not with the Nation of Domination? Hell no.
It's arguably the most important WrestleMania moment of all time. People say.
Well, when Austin turned heel.
No.
Can't be when The Rock.
Wait, The Rock and Hulk Hogan?
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
All right, yeah, that's one of the biggest matches, but that feud was bigger than The Rock and Stone Cold, in your opinion?
I just think that in this,
it was a bigger moment, though. It was a bigger moment.
Yes, I'm not debating.
Because Rock was the baby face too, and literally the crowd changed on him as the match was going on.
Yes,
they had to do a whole pivot.
Yep. Like, when it comes to the most important moments in Rock's career, none of it has to do with The Rock himself. Everybody else elevated The Rock himself. None of it has to do with The Rock. You can't name a single moment in Rock's career where Rock has...
Go ahead. I mean,
give me a single moment in The Rock's career where he tried to elevate someone and it worked. The guy couldn't even elevate his own fucking cousin.
They definitely was booing after that Royal Rumble.
All right, but hold on, because remember, you just said you would put him at 20. You could tell me you can name 19 people more monumental to WWE than The Rock?
WWE itself or professional wrestling in general? WWE
What
itself,
I
I
mean,
would
if
put
we're
him in.
talking,
If we
yeah,
go WWE itself, I'll put him at like 13.
All right, but no, just itself. You're telling me there's
13.
19 more?
Do I think there's 12 people that are more? Bro, you know who's wrestled full time longer in the WWE than The Rock did?
Cool.
AJ Styles.
Shout out to AJ Styles, but AJ Styles does not mean more to
But
wrestling than The Rock.
I just want you to understand that AJ Styles has
Yeah.
wrestled longer full time in the WWE than The Rock did.
Okay,
The Rock literally has two things that he holds on to his whole entire life. They used his catchphrase to name SmackDown, and the fact that he's on the TKO board. No one else does anything that The Rock does, and that's it. When they talk about LA Knight, do they talk about The Rock? No, they say he's Stone Cold, right?
Do
They say
people
he's a
not?
hybrid.
Do people not say the Attitude Era is the best era?
What do I care about what other people say?
No. Okay, but I'm talking consensus. I understand if you don't. I'm saying consensus. Do they not? People say
The
that?
problem is I don't think there's a consensus nowadays anymore.
Okay.
I don't think there's a consensus nowadays anymore. You know, because like you got all the old heads dying on the hill that the golden era. And I'll be honest, have you guys ever went back and like watched a lot of the old shit?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
That's so I did that about like 5 or 6 summers ago, right around like COVID. I went back and I watched a lot of like the golden era stuff. I won't lie to you. I feel like the old heads might be right about that era being absolute gas. That era was really fucking
when you look
good.
at it, when people used to go to the shows, the pops were authentic because like nobody's on their phone, nobody's recording. When Austin came out to fuck up Rock and help Mankind win the title, that's probably one of the biggest pops I've ever heard. Like I'm talking about at least like 20,000 people. They're screaming on top of their lungs, Austin coming through. And I think what really sold it, and this is such a really a key person to the Attitude Era. Jim Ross plays such a huge fucking role in what wrestling was, because I tell you, that's the best commentator. He could sell you on any match. I never like when I'm talking about that. I think that's what makes up like a huge part of wrestling that doesn't get appreciated as much though. Like he's very underrated. Jim Ross really used to like Austin coming down to the ring. It's about to be a fight. Yeah, Austin Rock. It's about to be hell. Yeah, like he could sell you on a match. And Jerry Lawler too. Just like his little theatrics was funny as fuck. But Jim Ross, damn, he was great at what the fuck he does. I hope there's some way. I don't care how. If we could get Jim Ross retirement tour for just WWE.
I mean, you can watch his retirement tour.
It don't hit the same.
Oh, I got it.
It don't hit the same.
Got it.
Like
I got it.
He's more calm now, but before
I got it. You told me everything I need to know. I got it.
but shout out to Michael Cole and Pat McAfee though. I love that duo though.
All right, let's wrap this up though, because I am getting calls now. So I'm gonna be late.
So once again, thank you, Alan, for coming.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Hopefully we could work together in the future. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Is there just anything that your fans that you want to tell them just to look forward to coming up that you got?
WrestleMania,
look out for the streams, look out for the content. I'm definitely gonna be looking out for all your stuff, man. Wait, are you and you're going, right?
Yeah.
Now, I might be in Vegas, so if so, we're gonna have to work on something, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
All right,
you let me know.
but please enjoy the rest of your day, man.
Much love, fam. I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Much love, guys.
All right, we out.
And stream.
Nah, you're